And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Land of Dreams and Nightmares. I'm your Dungeon Master, Esper. Let's do the introductions and jump in.
All right, as always, first in the alphabet with an A, I'm Adam, and I'm playing Carderock Hawkness, the noble knight-errant, bard, paladin, multi-class monstrosity of bardiness.
Hello, I am Arlen. I am playing the Necromancer wizard, and I'm level 11, which is nice. I'm almost level 12. We'll get there soon.
I am Vince, and I'm hopefully in this session I can start playing as Drakefell again, but we will see what happens.
And I am Warsor. No longer playing Captain Noxipal, but maybe playing something else. We'll see.
Well, last session was the tragic and grim conclusion of the excursion into Nyarlathotep. For those of you who didn't watch it, I really can't do it justice with any sort of summarizing, and I encourage you to go watch it. But it was a harrowing excursion, and it did not end so well. But it was interesting, at least from a storytelling standpoint and world building. So maybe there's a silver lining. At the present moment, the party, what remains of the party, which is Carderock and Arlen, are at Devil's Den. You've relayed to Abigor the news of the doomful downfall of the party, including devils that went with you. And you have requested to speak with Sherlock Strybeard, diabolic patron. Yes, your
Our lawyer, essentially.
your barrister of the Nine Hells.
Yeah.
And you also received, Carderock, you received a sending from Saya Freylis, the sort of touched in the head evocation archmage at the Silver Citadel, saying that they could not reach Captain Noxipal, and they're desperately trying to communicate with you all as Hansel Gakri is gone. Which that has some pretty major implications. He was the Archmage of Necromancy at the Silver Citadel and commanded an army of undead, a legitimized army of officially sanctioned undead that were strictly repurposed bodies and not at all spirits bound, trapped, or corrupted through the evil end, the worst, the nastiest end of necromancy.
So is there a job opening? Like, should I get an application?
Well, it seems that openings are just popping up left and right at this point, because that's now the second Archmage that's disappeared. So why don't we just go? Oh, and Drake's remains are within a bag of holding as well.
I think it's Card's bag of holding, right?
Yeah.
Well, Card.
Originally, it's Drake's bag.
Exactly, it's Drake's bag, but Card's currently using
I don't know,
it with Drake's
Drake.
body
I don't know,
and
Drake. Carderock's not dead. I think it's his bag of holding. I'm joking.
And the crew has bereaved the loss of Captain Noxipal, who, though he had moments of grim and dark and very bad behavior, he also was a strong leader and one that inspired bravery and courage in the face of unthinkable danger and struggles.
He gave us inspiring will a lot, like the leader thing. So he definitely inspired us.
So his loss, it comes as a deep blow to all those who were close to him. All right, well let's jump in. You all are at the Devil's Den. You're aboard the Storm's Eye, which is anchored within the water cave near the southern entrance of the cave.
All right. I think we're waiting for the
Devil's
yeah. I think how long did we have? It was like 2 days, I want to say. I don't remember the exact. No, maybe it was shorter, maybe it was longer.
I didn't know there wasn't an
Abigor
actual
said
length
he
of
would
time.
do his best to
Oh, okay, we
call
didn't
upon
actually have
him
one.
Yeah.
with expedience, and you're waiting on their return.
All right. I'm just thinking. Arlen, I guess I guess Card and I are still together at the moment.
Presumably.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah. Carderock. I'm sure we're probably going to have to wait at least a day or two for this. Perhaps we should at least try and rest or uncover what we can from the captain's chambers. See if he had any information that he did not tell us about.
A day or two? I should hope not. I hope you're rid of this sort of business and halfway to the Ambrosia Temple by then. You're just eager to get in there and snoop around for whatever magical gewgaws it is you're looking for, aren't you?
Arlen will sort of just look away a bit because, like, that's definitely kind of what he wants to do. He wants to see what the captain's been hiding in there this whole time.
Have you no respect for the dead?
I have respect for the dead, but I think that we have different ideas of what it is to respect the dead.
Well, considering you've propositioned me to turn Drake into one of your... Yes.
I'm sure
I say
he would-
we do.
I'm sure he would be a quite powerful ally if you allow me to do it. It wouldn't hurt at all. At least I don't think it would.
Arlen?
Fine, but we don't have to go there. But at least let me look through the captain's quarters, see if there's something of use that we can perhaps barter in this dealings with the devils. Although we have a lawyer, it's probably not going to go perfectly smoothly.
Oh, not going to go perfectly smoothly. A paladin shy of an oath, and whatever you are, negotiating with devils, previously only talked to by a pirate captain who's now dead, to recruit some of their number to go into a far-off realm, and none of them have returned either, mind you. Oh, you think it's not going to go entirely smoothly? Well, I think you're right.
I'm just gonna nod my head and then I'm gonna start walking towards the captain's quarters.
Wait for me.
Kobe, who is reeling from a terrible hangover. Ugh! Can you take this somewhere else? My head's gonna split in two.
Gonna look over at Kobe and then I'm gonna look to Card and say, Card, do you have some kind of spell or magic to deal with this?
Yes.
Well,
If you can give me something, I'd appreciate it. Oh, I think I'm not gonna drink ever again.
You have healing magic, right? You could perhaps do something for him.
is hangover a status?
Yeah, I don't know. Like Arlen doesn't know. He's just like he's just gesturing, like perhaps.
Certainly, lesser restoration could
Oh,
help him up.
Do you have lesser restoration?
I actually don't as an actual spell.
So he's just gonna have to deal with this.
Also, yeah, he can. This is a hangover. He's alive.
What if
So the two of you are making your way to the captain's quarters, also known now as the Warlock's Fane.
Yeah.
Okay. You.
I'm only here to ensure you don't steal anything. Well, to what extent is stealing?
Well,
I'm watching you.
I'm gonna look at you and gonna say, well, the captain's dead, right? It's not really stealing if someone's dead. I don't think he had any relatives that we would be giving anything to.
Yes, he does.
He does actually. Yeah, no.
Oh, does he have
is-
relatives?
He seems to have been estranged from his family.
Oh,
but you
right.
do know that his father and his grandfather are both naval officers in Grenada.
You're right. I
You
did forget about
overheard
that.
that
Yeah.
when they were talking to. I
It
forget.
was at the
whether
Silver
it's-
Citadel, the High Council.
Right. Was it
You're
Lord
right,
Robert
you're
of Summerfield, or was it actually one of the archmages that mentioned them? It was one of them.
I don't recall specifically, though I know Noxcall was speaking with Lord Thelmo Godswald III.
Oh, that's right.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
completely forgot about that. Sorry.
Lord, kind of like a count or something of Grenadoa.
I will change what I say then.
Yeah, you know that he does
Yeah.
have actually. I don't know how much details you have, but in vague terms, you know that he has a big family. His father and his grandfather are ranking officers, and Nox is like one of the younger sons of that generation, and he's estranged.
Mhm. All right, I'll change what I say. I'll say, although he does have family, I don't think that we should give anything to them. They haven't helped us in any way.
While I'm not sure I agree with your motives, I did not get the impression that they would be the kind to take kindly to his activities. Therefore, I'm not sure they would want whatever is in here.
Imagine if we just found a giant chest of gold that could help you as well as me.
Well, imagine a lot of things.
All right, do we walk into the chamber?
Yeah, you have made your way to the captain's quarters. The door is shut and locked, as Noxical always left it. Though you can't help but notice, the stylizations on the door have a dark, heavy style to them. Like the decorum is like this, almost like a Baroque look, right? And the faintest little wisp of fog from underneath the door.
I'm gonna look at Card, back away a little bit from the door, and say, he hasn't enchanted this in any way where if we walk in without some kind of proper information, we just, die.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, and I'm gonna just sort of like walk further back and say, you seem to be the more armored one than myself. After you.
Oh, and you suppose I know how to open a lock?
Well, I definitely don't know how to open a lock, but you could probably force it down, right? You're fairly strong.
This is a situation requiring a finesse, clearly. This door is locked. It's not barred.
Do we think that Kobe perhaps has the key?
Well, I think Noxahal would not have had a spare key, but if anybody has it, it would be him, yes.
All right, actually, here's a question as well, Esper. I don't have the spell pulled up just at the moment, but Mage Hand, do you think that would be able to perhaps go like through the lock and then go like and just like unlock? Mm-hmm. I don't think that's how it works, but yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think it is. I think if you could see through like a relatively sized hole, it could work. Yeah. I don't think that Nox had that kind of door, though.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Secure one. So Warsor, was there a spare key, maybe entrusted to Kobe, or no?
You're muted.
I was rolling to see.
Okay.
No.
Noxaqual was, for as much as he was a leader, he also was a private man. He had a private, reclusive side, and you know this. Anyone who spent time around him, he has his alone time that he takes, and it's it was very prized to him.
I'm really debating.
Okay, so are you just going to try to bash the door in?
You
have a spell to unlock it?
Yeah, I'm looking through my spells right now.
You got your skeleton.
I'd have to animate it. And I'm
I don't think we need to like bog down too much. It's just more of for narrative purposes.
Yeah, I would definitely like attempt to like open it. Yeah, I would try and force it open in some way, either like with magic or my own two hands, like with Carderock probably helping me as well.
All right, so you
need
all
one hand in your bones.
You all force open the door. Maybe you break in a little bit, so it's a bit bashy, but whatever. It's just a door, a strong door, but a door nonetheless. And you enter into the Warlock's Vein of Noxqual. To one side, there's like this curtain drawn, and he has like his bed and his own chest of drawers and whatnot, and then there's also some pedestal or altar type area trimmed out with dark stone. There is a
mirror.
Yeah, there's a mirror with an onyx frame, and it's like a kind of a black mirror. It's reflective still, but it's not like this gleaming silvery mirror. It's certainly of a shadowy persuasion. The shadows indeed seem to deepen as you walk into the room, and a slight foggy smokiness just clings subtly to the floor of the room. the whole place has an ominous feel to it, though maybe someone of your persuasion, Arlen, would actually be attracted to a location like this.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, Arlen probably kind of enjoys a little bit of the decor.
Mm-hmm. Next to
Card
his bed, yeah, he's got the
standing-
stand with the drawers. He's got a locked chest as well for his personal effects. A weapons rack. It's the
I
largest,
will,
it's the
as
largest
we-
personal quarter on the ship.
As we get in, I remember you describing it like other times as well as dark. As we get in, I'll use the light spell on my staff to sort of like have a like the Gandalf thing, like have it sort of like that, like this like light glowing.
Sure. Yeah, the light radiates off, and again, wherever shadows are cast, they just seem extra deep and long.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look over and say, I have to say, Card, I definitely like the captain's choice of decor.
Card is standing a few steps back, patting the bag I'm holding on his belt, saying, well, Drake, what do you think's in here? Demon portal? Homunculus? Brain in a jar? My money's on the brain, personally. Yes. The sense of decor is very...
quite dreadful.
Something. It sure is something.
All right, Arlen will probably go to the chest first, and I'll get over to it and say, see, Card? Chest full of gold.
So you open that up?
Yeah, I'll open up the chest.
Okay, so same situation as with the door. Noxaqual just kept the keys to himself, so you have to force it open. But I don't think it's necessary to play that out. You guys are level 11 and 12, so you get open the chest.
Don't make me roll strength checks, Esper.
I mean, not saying there aren't chests that can foil 12th level characters, but Noxaqual wasn't that particular to invest in something.
He was the protection. If anything got this far, they'd have to deal with him.
Yeah.
So you get this chest pried open, broken open, and there's various personal effects in here. And if you want to describe it, Warsor, go for it.
I was going to say, I did look at my character sheet a little bit just now, and there are some things that I forgot that were in here. So there is some money that I kept as ship money, separate from my character money.
Oh, this was like the stuff for like the crew and things like that. I
actually took some of my money and put it into the ship, and it was like a separate fund that I kept with the ship. So you guys are going to find, I'll just get this out of the way, 2,808 gold.
2,808, you said?
Yep. That was in the actual coin. There are goods which are in the ship right now too, which are 2,000 value of goods.
Yeah. So the cargo hold, the value of the cargo down there.
Just wanted to get that out of the way, and now we'll get on to the fun things. So there's some clothing and some other things, basic knickknacks and such, but what's probably the most interesting to the both of you is a small box. It's a wooden box that just has a simple latch on it. It's not locked or anything. And when you open it up, there's only two things in there. There's a bundle of letters that have been tied together with a little bit of string. And they look old, probably a decade or so. It's hard to say. Actually, wait a second. They would be maybe 2 decades old-ish. And then there's a simple silver ring, which has some very faded, worn sort of patterns on it. You'd have to examine it closer.
All right. Arlen looking over like the gold and like I guess like determining like the value of all the goods and stuff on the ship. Say, well, I believe that most of this gold and goods are probably more for the ship and payments for the crew. However, these letters and this ring is quite intriguing. I'll look more into the ring first.
Okay.
Arlen, because
I'll read the letter, or well, I'll skim the top letter while he's looking at the ring.
Okay.
I'll deal with Arlen first. Do you mind if I kind of semi-DM this, Esper?
Go for it.
Okay. Arlen, you're looking at the ring. Just make me a perception check.
Perception check. Okay.
It's you're feeling it, you're looking at it, you're like examining it. I just want to see how detailed.
Hopefully I get a good roll here. I'm not very good at perception, unfortunately. Yeah, it's only an 8.
Okay. You feel the inside. It feels like something's engraved on the inner surface, but you can't quite make it out yet.
Okay.
But with more examination, taking your time, you're sure you can figure it out.
I guess for now, I'll probably like looking at it and feeling around it. I'll say, this might take some extra time to look into, and then I'll probably just like I don't know if I probably wouldn't slip it on my finger yet, but I'd probably just put it in my bag of holding for now.
Sure. Seems like an ordinary ring to you. So, and then Carderock, while you start, you pick up one of the letters that seems to be very well read at the top of the pile, and it says something along the following: "Dear Alistair, I miss you more with each passing day, my love. I still think about how exciting it was when you snuck out of the window of my home the night, the morning after, charming me the night before. My father would be furious if he knew a nobleman had been with me, but what he doesn't know," and then ... It goes on for a little bit, and then ends this particular letter saying, "I can't stop thinking about you. Please come visit me again tonight. I'll await your reply." And then signed at the bottom is the name Eva. So then you go through these letters, and
the name. Just to jump in here, Arlen, the name that was signed, it probably catches your eye. Eva is your mother's name.
Yep. So Arlen, after looking over the ring, will sort of, after putting it in the bag, we'll get up off the, I guess, looking at the wind box and turn to cards since you were reading and say, "Anything interesting in those letters?"
Alistair? What kind of a Grenadier fop names their son that? Was this Noxical's birth name?
Well, let me see, and I'll sort of try and take the letter to read over it as well.
Apparently had some steamy interactions with someone called Eva.
Yeah, as you say that, and as I get to that part in the letter, I'm just gonna sort of be very taken aback and say, "That's strange."
Oh, it's a perfectly common name. Why is it strange?
That was my mother's name.
Ha! Oh, wait. Oh.
What else do those letters say? And I'm gonna start looking over more of the letters now. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. If we're going to go through his personal communications, we should at least do it respectfully. You take this half, I'll take this half.
Arlen's definitely just very I guess taken aback by the whole situation with seeing his mother's name mentioned, and also you wanting to just take half the letters. But he agrees, and he'll take half and you'll take half. And
Hey, he started out respectfully just by skimming one to see if it had some useful information to know who to notify.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Obviously now it's more interesting.
Yeah, I guess we'll be looking more in-depthly into the letters.
All right. Well, I only have one other letter prepared, but we'll just summarize the kind of the path you narratively take.
Yeah, I don't imagine you wrote 50 letters.
I mean,
you didn't write 50 letters?
Esper giving me more than 2 hours before the session to say, "Oh, hey, could you do this?" I'll be like,
I thought better of you.
But that's fine.
Literally write handwritten in like old cursive style
with a fountain pen
with a fountain and like faded out the parchment with tea.
What were you doing? Eating cheese?
and period ink that you made yourself with like oak galls and green vitriol and fireplace soot.
So there's correspondence back and forth
Yes.
between an Alistair. Is the last name mentioned?
Alistair. So she would not have used his last name, but maybe it was mentioned in one of the letters. His family name is Stamleg.
Mm-hmm.
And does this actually seem like this is Noxaqual's birth name and not just some other person?
I mean, I think that we could probably assume that since they're in his private quarters in a locked box.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, in our sessions, Noxaqual never revealed his birth name.
Presumably it wasn't Noxaqual, but yeah, he never said.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, like, at the moment,
would
Arlen is...
Noxaqual have revealed that? Like, I guess we'd say behind the scenes ever?
To
Carderock or someone.
Yeah, probably not.
No. Not
I don't know that he would.
Okay.
The only person
Arlen roll insight checks.
There's one person I could see him having done it.
Actually, that's right. We need to go investigation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much
Arlen.
better. Thank you so much for making an investigation.
I think insight is more reading like body language and bluffs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Investigation is like 10 times better than my
Putting
insight.
the clues together, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's not horrible. Let's see, 5, 9. It's an 18. Oh, I'm sorry, a 19. 19.
That's good. I think that's a pretty solid hunch on your part, Carderock.
I have a 16. I don't know if that's the same or slightly worse.
I'd say it's roughly the same. Yeah, you both have this hunch. It seems to be fitting. I mean, why else would he have these old letters?
Yeah, as we're like looking,
like a sentimental kind of fashion.
Yeah, as we're like reading through the letters and looking through them all, like Arlen's probably muttering a bit to himself, like, why is Noxaqual? Why was he messaging my mother? I never even knew my mother. And just like sort of like looking through all these things and just.
So, the story told by the letters is incomplete. You don't have a perfect picture. A lot of them are just what lovers write to each other, things that only they understand. Like it references things you just don't get sometimes. But the gist of it is that they definitely had a passionate romance, and then something just seemed to change. And well, let me read this next letter here.
Ooh.
All right. Alistair, I think we should stop seeing each other. My heart is drawn to another, and it isn't fair to keep leading you on when what you hope for is just a dream. You'll marry some rich noble's daughter, and forget all about this. I am sorry, Eva. And then, like, it just kind of there's a lot, like, almost she was going to say more, but it's just scribbled out, and it's just it ends.
Oh, it's a sad story. Oh. All right. Arlen is like at this point just like probably very silent and just like looking over the letters and just sort of thinking to himself. And Card, you probably see him just like probably like sitting like this and just like looking down at them with like he's like holding the letters, and like at some points he's probably just like holding his arm.
The one arm?
Yeah, that arm. Yeah.
From the deep shadows, appears a face.
Ha! This one says breast. Arlen, this one, it talks about breast. Oh.
A face like a mask of onyx with a devilish grin. Unmoving, though it does speak. And unfortunately, I'm not a good mime, so I have to move my mouth, but it doesn't actually speak. And you've seen this masked one that seems composed of shadow before. You know who this is. And there is a crack that runs from an eye down to the mouth, down to the chin. Well, this is a circumstance we find ourselves in now, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I'm gonna. Arlen will speak up as well and say, "Why did Noxqual never tell me?"
He never told me either. All of us guard secrets within our hearts. Do you not have your own?
I look
Not
away.
as many as Noxaqual, I should wager. But yes.
This may have been a secret, but it dealt with me as well.
Yes.
This was my mother.
Oh. Well, I am in not much of a position to be empathizing with your laments over your dear mother.
Well, what sort of a position are you in then?
Yes, you don't look very good yourself at the moment.
No. Shattered hopes and dreams, all I have at the moment. What are your plans for this ship?
I'm just gonna look at Card and say, "I believe that it's our ship now."
Yes, and eventually I think it should become... Oh, you've heard of Kobe the Lion, I'm sure. I'm sure Noxaqual spoke of him to you. It should become his ship.
Perhaps I will have a word with him. I will see if he is receptive to my messages.
I think you'll find this conversation with him rather stimulating.
Believe me,
He
Don't-
has served his place well, I don't deny that. But is he capable of filling the boots of Noxqual? I think not. Not even
I agree.
the boots.
I agree with you. I don't think that he's ready to be a captain, nor does he have the power to do the things that, and I'll look at Card, we do.
And you, Arlen, what of you? You seem to be a seeker who has not found what he has sought. Perhaps I can speak with you of new possibilities. This battle might not be over.
This battle, I believe, is far from over. But it seems as though the ones that follow you tend to not end up very well. Look what happened to Noxaqual and the one that followed him, and I'm referencing Drake in that one.
Very few have followed me. I have not even been whatever it is that I am now for a great deal of time. Noxaqual was my link.
Perhaps we can work out some arrangement.
It cannot end like this. We were so close.
And now he's dead.
Yes, well, I have seen where they have taken him. I suppose I'm not surprised, though I am not pleased.
I can certainly take a wild guess, yes.
Yes, you might lament instead for your captain and less so for your mother and her early flirtations.
I simply want the answers that these letters do not reveal. And I also want my own ambitions to be fulfilled as well. I want to know more of the secrets that he has hidden from me.
I don't think it was personal, Arlen. He says as you're looking at these letters. It's very clear to you that the masked one is not.
Yeah, he's not doing good.
He's not in the know of what it is you're actually holding in your hand.
Yeah, I guess I'll put the letters in my bag of holding. I'll stand. I was probably like sitting at the desk with Card. I'll probably stand up and walk a little closer to the mask and say, "Whatever your name is, wherever you're from, you don't seem to be in a position to really be asking much from us.
I don't know exactly what position I'm in. I am quite displeased with the situation.
I believe that we're all quite displeased with the situation. We lost 2 allies searching for your boots. Do we know that we were getting his boots, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
making sure. Okay.
We overheard that when he was talking to Glasaya, making the whole
Yeah.
deal about what we're doing.
I was making sure that I have no need for these boots, masked one. They don't give me anything that I seek. I do not think Carderock here has any need for the boots, and I do not think anyone on this crew has any need for these boots. However, I am happy to still work with you. You gave Noxaqual many gifts and many powers. I do not wish to be under your service, but I am happy to work with you.
We must formulate a new strategy. There will be a way. Maybe it is not this day, but there will be a way.
Yeah, Arlen nods. Like he's definitely on board because like although like Noxwall did hide things from Arlen, like he also provided a lot of power in terms of like the ships and just like the gold and like all these things. So, and this is the person that Noxwall trusted and worked with. So Arlen's willing to continue to work with the masked one. I don't know what Card's opinion on it is.
Well, seems to me as though you need a new champion. I don't know why you've come to us.
Carderock, be his champion.
No other place that I would rather dwell whilst in the material plane than here.
Well, we shall not disturb it. That is for sure.
Do you intend to become captain of this ship, Carderock?
We intend to become captain.
For a time I might, but no, I do not. I intend to go far away from the sea or close to it or wherever I can build my manor and assume a title. I feel as though I've earned a title with all this, whatever you'd call it, that I've done.
I am familiar with lords and their knights. And you, Arlen, you see a future aboard this ship as its captain.
I do see a future aboard this ship. I believe that there's much power to be had on board the Storm's Eye. Everything that I've done, although we did have a great loss, I've seen many great things that have come from the Stormbringers. And I intend to hold on to this power now that Noxaqual is gone.
What other champions have Drakengrim known in this age?
Not many. Many things are changing in this world at the moment, and I intend to be at the forefront.
We will mount a new strategy.
Let us deal with these devils for the moment. We will call on you afterwards to find out more of what we should do. Is there any information you can tell me that we have not ascertained from the quarters of the captain at the moment? Perhaps that you know of him.
It seems that you are uncovering even more than what I was aware of. What do you speak of? Some other... This room does not give you the ability to summon up fiends to do your bidding, if that's what you're asking.
Very well.
But
You
this
did
is a place of power, and it will continue to be so.
You did speak of hold on. Excuse me. You did speak that. You know where they took the captain?
Glasiah has his soul. She is torturing him as we speak.
I have many questions for him. I don't think that we will be able to rescue him. If a chance arises, I would like to find out more about his dealings with my mother. Whether we bring him back to you or not, I can't promise you that, because I don't care if you get him back.
I am under no illusions or false hopes.
Then let us speak after these dealings with the devils.
Very well. Let us speak and keep in mind, Arlen, that which you are seeking may require a price you do not want to pay. What is the end of the path you walk? Is it Orcus? Is it Caius? Is it Vecna?
Arlen will sit there in silence for a bit, sort of hold his that arm again, sort of say, what I seek is power from myself. I don't seek Orcus. I don't want his demonic energy flowing through my veins. I'll get power myself in my own way.
Then you consider yourself a free agent.
I do consider myself a free agent, but I, of course, understand that working with powerful allies and having powerful allies is always beneficial.
I was not so much unlike you once, Arlen. But it is impossible to be truly unbound, untethered, unconnected in this grand scheme. None of us are isolated motes in a vacuum. You may have some measure of freedom, but you will never be alone. And there will be consequences to your actions. And there will be ends to the paths that you take, and some of those endings may have dark surprises for you. Dark even for one such as yourself.
Arlen will sort of acknowledge that, and I think, yeah, actually, he'll acknowledge that with a nod, and then, like, pull off his glove and show, like, his skeleton arm and say, I've made my sacrifices. I will get what I desire, with or without your help. I'm offering you a chance to be my ally.
There is a moment where his angle is affixed at the skeletal hand. You have done this yourself.
Yes, at great cost.
Where did you learn this?
I'm gonna put the glove back on. Perhaps we can discuss more in the future.
Perhaps so. Consider me curious.
And I am curious of you as well. I want to know more about you.
Then it seems we will have something of a trade in the near future. But until then, we should think practically. Who could possibly be a new champion? What might it take to find success in a future incursion within Nyarlathotep?
I agree. We'll discuss these matters at length at a future date.
As far as I am able to surmise, Nyarlathotep now possesses all of my relics, save for the onyx, save for the cuirass, save for the cuirass.
Oh, that's right, because Knoxquell's body, we left it. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, we never got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which presumably now is in the same place as the boots.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it this way, it's all consolidated.
Yeah, it's all in one place
yeah.
now.
Except for one of the pieces.
Noctis. Yeah, Noctis. I was trying to remember the name of the cuirass, the breastplate. All of my relics, save for Noctis, are now in the possession of Nyarlathotep.
If it means anything to you, although we do not need these boots, and I'm going to look at Card.
You keep saying that, yet you do not know them. I forged them in the Soul Forge myself a long, long time ago. And with them, you can reach places at great distance as easily as strolling across the countryside.
And if you stride through a river, will your feet not get wet?
Not while wearing these.
Hmm.
You could pass as though a shadow across ocean, across lava.
That sounds
So
like a whole lot
these-
of places I don't wish to go.
So these boots, this gear that the captain was searching for, they have power, you say? They have much power.
Much and more.
Perhaps we will go back one day, and perhaps we will gain this armor of yours. But I think that, at least for myself, maybe I speak for Card as well, they did kill our captain and a comrade in Drake. One day I will kill him.
I have been dwelling in my longing for vengeance longer than I know. This is not an unfamiliar motive you speak of.
And who do you seek vengeance against?
Noxaqual was a protege who developed over long years and hard won. Carderock, you were at his side longer than this one. You got to see a measure of that.
Aye.
Perhaps there could be another.
And who do you seek vengeance against? And why? That Nox never told me.
Yes. Well, we'll yank out one rotten tooth at a time, the first one being Nyarlathotep.
Sounds like you have several gods as enemies. Not a wise strategy. I'd advise against it.
Something we have in common, then. Referencing the gods, like having enemies of gods. I'm not much in favor of these gods myself.
Yes, well. Once you have seen what I have, you will realize that there can be no light without shadow. The gods need those like me.
Sorry, the gods need what? I didn't catch that last part.
Gods need those such as I.
Yes, but do we need the gods?
I have seen much throughout the centuries. Things are strangely connected. I would be hesitant to dismiss outright any being of power.
Oh, I do not dismiss their power, but I do not agree that they should be the ones with all the power.
This is a good question that you are asking. And indeed, who has the right to hold such power, to make such decisions? A dragon god, simply because he is worshipped and praised? You think the dragon god is so benevolent? Then you do not know dragons.
I think those who take the power for themselves are the ones who have the right to the power. Those who simply exist and existed with the power, they have no right to it. They don't even understand it. I'll gain that power.
Power is one half of it. There's the other half. It is more than just power. It is the organizing and arranging and the persisting of things. Noxaqual didn't just have power. Noxaqual was a community. People relied on him. He made things happen. He allowed others to continue on in these series of endeavors. If you want nothing but power, then you're no better than orcs and gnolls, and the next brute who can gang up on you and stab you in the back will take you down.
Do not think me an unintelligent man. I know that power for power. Power on its own is nothing, but having power allows you to create that community, to create that organization, to create the backbone. Noxaqual had power, and he was able to rally those around him with it, but only because of that power.
He had vision. I do not think you lack for vision due to being unintelligent. You are merely, well, you are young.
I'm much younger than Noxaqual.
Surely you've had your experiences, but they appear limited from what I am able to observe.
Well, that is why you will be a valuable ally. You have much experience that I can call upon.
Well said. So we will begin here. Conversations, exchanges of information, and with an eye always open for a new potential champion to come. Another who might be worthy to wield Sombras again. Perhaps take up and continue on where Noxaqual left off, for he accomplished much more than I ever expected.
I believe that I would be willing to have a crew member that has your power, as long as we understand that he will be under myself and perhaps Carderock.
Yes, well, he will need to be developed.
I think that I could help with that.
I'm sure that you could. Well, our prior hope was a long shot and a risky gamble, and perhaps we made it further than any reasonable person could hope to expect. So here's to the next long shot, risky gamble.
I nod my head. I'd raise a glass if I had one.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that we have something of an understanding of each other.
Does he have is it just a mask? Or is it oh, okay, I was going to reach out and shake his hand, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's never been very clearly defined what exactly he even is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you as a wizard and a lore-keeping, intelligent, knowledgeable person, you might say, oh, he's a spirit of some ancient shadow lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just it's very unknown, his origins. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
So some kind of shadow spirit thing with connections to the plane of shadow. And did he originate from there? Was he a mortal from the world that transmuted or transformed into? There's unknowns.
Okay. All right. I guess at this point we should deal with the devils.
All right. So that concludes that. I think that's pretty good for that scene there.
Your patron is awesome, Nox. I like this. I like your patron.
Thank you. I take full credit for Esper making him up.
That's true. Esper did make the patron.
But no, thank me, not him.
Planted the seed. I just let the rain fall and the seed grow.
All right. So I guess to move it along.
Yeah. Okay. It is the following day when it comes to the meeting with the devils.
Just to clarify, we do get a long rest?
Yeah, I would think. Yeah.
Okay. Just updating my spells. Because I had new spells. I don't think I'm going to need them.
Thanks to Vince, who's being very patient here.
Yeah.
I think maybe the next scene is we're heading towards the Ambrosia Temple.
Yeah, I think after the devils, we're gonna go straight there so that we can get on to.
Let's do this. So the following day, Abigor appears with Sherlax Sixbeard, who's Bone Devil, tall thing, gaunt and husky, and indeed with 6 twisted, spiky beard points coming off his big jut of a chin. And do you speak? I think probably should speak within Abigor's chambers. He will extend an invitation to you there. So again, there's some food drawn up, and he has a couple devil guardsmen / servants. They're like brass face mask plated Maragon Legion devils.
Yeah, I'll have my animated skeleton with me as well.
All right. The skeleton is there, creaking patiently at your side. And in terms of Abigor's guests, he always has some sorts of guests around. He has the tiefling pair there at the moment.
But does he have the most important and most powerful being in the entire universe? Ultimate survivor.
Cugs is not there. Cugs is often out. We could think of it as going door to door, offering the bad word, the word of Glacia, the great mistress of Malbolgia, who makes a number of fantastic deals. All right, so you've all had a bit to eat and drink. Sherlax seems not too keen to dither and dally about.
Well, let's hear it. You summoned me here, and we're about at the end of the end of the fee that was paid to retain me. Also, the air of this place seems that it wants to choke me. Who can live in such foul environments?
For the very last time, Abigor, eels and apricots do, in fact, taste good. Yes, separately, not together. Yes. I shan't waste your time. But if you take one look at us, you can see who we are, how many of us there are.
Yes.
I assume you can count and know that 2 is less than 5.
Yeah, he has some papers.
I have a copy of the report on Noxaqual.
Yes, well, do you see him around?
Quite an exceptional case, you could say.
Yes, I could say.
No mere Lemure for this one. I might want to watch out. Perhaps they'll be trying to one-up me one day.
Is he referencing Noxaqual one-upping him? So I'll let you finish, Card. Go for it.
Well, that aside, you are an advocate. You are our advocate. You're, for the time, on our retainer. How are we going to get ourselves out of the remainder of this contract?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear. What happened? Sorry, you both were talking.
Yeah.
I have been hired for this particular case, yes. But as far as I can see, this case is pretty much closed. Defeat. It stings, doesn't it? Like a poison dagger in your belly. Ugh.
Or a giant adamantine fist. Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I hope to never experience it.
You should. Now then, so you're saying our end of the agreement is served to whatever extent it ended?
Yes, you're off the damn hook.
Do we have to worry about this?
This was mainly Balsan Cray's and Warsor's responsibility. You all were...
Noxaqual.
Who is this Warsor you speak of? What?
Suddenly, like, I appear...
War.
No, like, me, I just appear in the game. I'm like, oh, shit.
Why am I here?
This was the responsibility of Balsan Cray. Noxaqual, your late captain. Yes, you all were allies, but it was never your deed to see realized.
Do we have to worry about this Robin fellow?
Robin. He was the exchange, yes. Well, I suppose for now he's been the only one to luck out on this deal.
Yes. Arlen doesn't do that. Arlen doesn't care, but like... Yes.
And you know who really has it worse? Balsan Cray.
Oh. And what of Balsan Cray?
Right now.
Well, maybe who Balsan Craig was?
The Horde Devil.
The one who possessed the boots of shadow walking and were stolen, pilfered from him by Nyarlathotep.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Arlen will speak up at this point and say, well,
Have you ever heard of demotion in the Nine Hells?
Would Arlen know about this? Probably, right? I mean, he speaks like Infernal and Abyssal and all this stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
I've heard a song of it once. How bad is it?
Okay, well, let's see. What are you, some kind of knight? Did you go through maybe a hazing in the early days of your training?
I had a guardsman once try to pull my trousers down while I was on the wall. Put the foot to the side and he fell in about 15 feet into a dung heap. Couldn't walk the same ever since.
You're joking. That's the worst.
No.
That's the worst you endured?
Well, yes.
Okay. Imagine running a gauntlet naked, and every step you take, someone claws off part of your skin.
Well, it'd be really difficult if you're running with gauntlets on your feet instead of boots, yes? I do not know how one runs a gauntlet
Full
otherwise.
of jokes. I like that. It's awful, dreadful, boring work that I usually do.
So you're telling me Bolson Cray now is some little imp?
I don't know. Probably not an imp, but horned devil? Ha! Fat chance of that.
I really hope we meet Balson Craig and he actually is an imp. Like,
And he has a little trident now. I'm back. Come on. All right.
Arlen will say something here. I'm sorry, this director is great. Okay.
Are you going to eat your salted cockroaches?
No, I don't think I will. I did have a question though. What's of Noxaqual? And I guess I'm probably speaking to like Abigor here because I assume that he is.
He's got his own cell in Malbolgia. Ugh. Not tossed in with a lot of those other moaners that come splashing on the shores of the river Styx.
Is there any way we may be able to speak with him?
Speak with him. I don't think he's at a place right now where he can be receiving visitors. But if you want, you can go knock on Glasia's door and ask her really politely.
I'm going to look up at Abigor. Say, Abigor, is there a way that we could speak with Noxaqual, even for a moment?
Well, it is highly unusual, unorthodox. I wouldn't want to disturb the mistress at an hour such as this.
It's bad form, kid. And you don't want to step over the line in Baitor.
Arlen, I think we should leave the matter for the time being. As much as it saddens me, we
Hey.
won't see him.
Maybe
For a
one
while.
day, years from now, when all of this is finished up, you'll get to see him again, face to face. Maybe it'll be your turn even, and he'll be the one torturing you.
I can assure you, you have not seen the last of Noxaqual. I know I haven't. But I think for the time being, we should leave Glacia to do whatever it is she's going to do.
Arlen will
Right,
sort of like,
give it a couple of years or so, right, for this all to work itself out. But then, look into a mirror at midnight and chant his name 13 times. See what happens there.
Arlen will sort of like grit his teeth a little bit because he really wants to speak with Noxaqual. I'll look up at Abigor again and say, Abigor, before we do leave, because we do have other matters to attend to, you were quite close to Noxaqual, the previous captain, correct?
Well,
You had
we
arrangements.
got close right from the get-go, very close.
As I believe that we're the new captains, essentially, of the ships, maybe myself alone, Carderock seems to have his own plans for the future. I would like to maintain these relationships. I don't want to make an enemy of Glacia.
Yes, of course. I would expect nothing different. You're always welcome to pay a visit here, and I've generally found that our exchanges are mutually beneficial.
Yes, as have I. Is there a way that we can communicate in the future if I ever need to call upon you?
Well, what do you mean?
I
Are
presume
you going to use the spell that speaks to me from across distances, and I can reply?
that or other ways that Noxqual communicated with you.
Oh, yes. You mean the circular? Yes. I will be expecting your calling at any time.
Very well. And this business with Glossiah, we have assurances that the matter is closed.
I believe so, Sherlax.
As far as this contract goes, it's a done deal. It's over. I mean, I wouldn't just burn this up. You might want to hold on to your copy for your own record keeping. You know, maybe one day it's going to come up again, and you might have to make your case back in court. But you know, those sorts of things, that's pretty rare. We've got a lot of other things to worry about at this time. But no, I haven't seen anything in here that says that you are thus saddled with the burden that was on Noxaqual's shoulders just because he bit the dust.
Very well, very well. And
Hey, did he have any last words?
Did he have any last words? Did Noxwell say anything at the end that we could have heard?
Okay, well, what was the last thing that he did say to you?
I don't remember. Do you know Nox? I don't remember.
If you don't remember, your character
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah, Arlen probably wouldn't have been paying attention in that moment. I don't think he would.
No famous last words from the pirate captain. Well, so be it. Maybe we can just come up with something. He said, fly, you fools, or something of the like.
That does sound quite fitting.
He was speaking to the Casman at the time. Fly, you fools!
yeah. We just took it as a different way. Arlen.
All right, are we done here?
I believe so, Card.
Well, yes. If we shall not have to deal with any more of this business, then I suppose we are. It was-
Actually, I did have one point which I think we should not neglect. Whilst you were in the realm of Nyarlathotep, did you make sure to not use any matter of teleportation or extraplanar travel?
This is correct.
No, we used dimension doors.
Did we?
Yeah, to get out. Remember?
I thought we just walked that whole way. I didn't think we ended up.
We dimension door to get out of the temple. Remember?
Yeah, you use it to get out of the palace of Nyarlathotep.
Yeah, I guess as we're walking back.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
You're right.
Arlen will turn around and say, "Yes, we had to escape. So that's a problem. We experienced nothing."
You were not followed.
Can I roll a perception check? No, I'm gonna say, as far as I'm aware, I didn't experience anything weird when I used the Dimension Door card. Did you?
We did not use it to escape the realm, only to escape a building within the realm. The portal that took us here is the same as it ever was. You're welcome to check.
Yes, we use no interplanar travel, if that's what you mean.
Nothing amiss, nothing different.
The only thing that was strange was that we weren't followed. Because remember, we encountered nothing, so...
Yeah.
There was one small thing.
Was there something that I'm forgetting?
You crossed to the portal, Nyarlathotep was speaking to you.
That's fair, yeah. Arlen would mention that then, yeah. Sorry, I completely forgot about that, yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. There's just a couple. My godsmen, they spoke of someone whispering in the darkness just this prior night while I was gone. You have not heard such whispers in the darkness whilst here?
We have not.
No.
Crewmen have been talking about.
Oh, the crew member. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
We haven't.
Yeah, we haven't experienced anything, but our crew members have.
Oh dear. Oh. He can't even sit down. He has to kind of like pace around. Sherlax is.
Well, looks like you're in some shit now too, Abigor. Hey, Do you need a barrister on retainer? I just might have to take you up on that offer.
Abigor, please explain yourself. What's the issue here?
Well, for some time, our infernal shrine has been veiled, if I should say it that way. Wormy things have managed to crawl in it, but they've crawled into every nook and cranny, so I can't say that I was all too worried. But this voice, oh my. And he does have the boots. Are you aware if those boots are able to cross planes?
Would we know about this? We know that they can travel far distances. Would we know if they could?
It has not been spoken if the boots can take you to different planes yet.
I guess
no one has said that they can, but no one has said that they can.
Yeah, I'd probably say I don't know if they can actually cross other planes. We do know that they can travel far distances, and they are a way of traveling. So perhaps they could travel across planes. I can try and find more info.
Has much ado with magical traveling effects, and he could be manipulating or using this objects to produce something new altogether. I'm very concerned. I'm very, very concerned.
Is this something that we have to be concerned about, or is this a you problem?
I don't imagine that I could convince you to stay here as watchman of the portal.
I don't imagine that you could, no.
It was you all that used the teleportation effects. When
Your devils also used the teleportation effects, and they were not much help.
Oh, Balson Cray used teleportation?
Well, if he walked through it with us, right?
He's referring to the dimension door.
Oh, through the dimension door.
Right.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were referring to the... Sorry, so many teleportation things we're talking about. Sorry, I'm like, it's all blurring.
So Abigor is in very polite words saying, you guys screwed up. You weren't supposed to do that. And now I'm worried that Nyarlathotep has taken notice of our hidden shrine portal. And you need to stay here and watch this and make sure there's not stuff coming through.
I do not think that it is our job to do this. If your devils were more useful, perhaps we would not have had to use dimension doors to actually escape.
Yes, could you not call them to watch your portal?
Balson Cray is my superior.
Well, now you...
It's my superior. Well,
sounds like you're due for a promotion.
Still, technically on paper, he is my superior.
Are you really going to take orders from an imp?
No, Norakar, the Bone Devil. He's directly above me. Balson Cray is above him. I can't remember the name of the pit fiend. He was at the trial scene. And then above that is Glissaya.
As Carderock has said, it does seem you are indeed in for a promotion.
Yes.
This seems to be good news.
Well, you'll have to excuse me if I don't go celebrating just yet, as I am a bit beside myself with concern. It's been difficult enough to maintain this location with Caius's effects that have infested part of Nyarlathotep. But knowing that the Wanderer King, the Whisperer in Darkness, may be reaching through and here at my very own doorstep, it rattles me to the bone.
Is there any way that we can assist without staying here? Because we have business to attend to at the Ambrosia Temple.
Do you have other crew members that could serve as guardsmen?
Well, now that you mention it, yes, we do.
I believe that we can leave a few crewmen.
Of skill. I mean, I'm not talking about the boy that swabs the deck.
Oh god, he wants us to leave the the named crew members, doesn't he? Arlen's gonna look at card. Yeah, Arlen's gonna look at card because Arlen doesn't really mind leaving a few, but he doesn't want to leave all of them.
There's one with a great skill with a sword, an elf or something.
Windowless. Yeah, he's got a rapier and he knows some magic as well.
And there's one with one hand, but I assure you, far more acumen than you'd think.
Perhaps we can leave.
There's also Dignahar, the dwarven crossbowman.
Perhaps we can leave the elf, or I'll say his name. I don't. What was his name again? Windowless. Windowless. Yeah. Perhaps we can leave you. Perhaps we can leave you Windowless and 2 of our other crew.
If I can't convince you to stay, then I will accept this as compromise.
I believe this is fair. I will say though, try not to kill them while we're gone.
If the Wanderer King himself slips through, then if the Stormbringers plus Balsan Crane Norcar could not stop him, there's no hope for us. But perhaps minions of his will make it through. I don't know. I'm only speculating, and but yes, I will graciously accept anything that anyone that you can leave to help me guard and maintain the security of this fair abode.
Of course.
Good.
If there is anything, I'll let you go, Card.
If they die, I hope that you do too. If you survive and they don't, I'll smite you.
I would expect nothing less from Carderock, the Knight Errant. He wipes some sweat from his head with a tablecloth.
Abigor. We're still your allies for the moment. If we find any information, if we find anything that can help in this, I'm happy to relay that to you. Please give the sire my good wishes.
That I shall do.
And congratulations on the promotion. And then I guess I'll start walking out.
Thank you. All right, so you all return. You exit the cavern and go through, the tunnel way back to the flooded cave where the Storm's Eye is anchored. And which crewmen are you assigning to this?
Windowless and 2 random crew.
And
we were.
Raises an eyebrow. You've got to be kidding me. There's no way in hell, pun intended, that I'm going to stay here.
Oh.
Stay in a devil's cave?
Yes.
You're out of your mind.
Maybe.
You'll have 2 crew members with you as well.
Of course.
You'll essentially be the captain for them.
Yes.
I did not make any such agreements that I would be serving as a watch hound for devils at a devil cave. Come now. I'm meant for the seas. I'm a privateer, a corsair, a swashbuckling spellslinger.
Arlen will sort of like raise an eyebrow and look to Card and say, perhaps I don't think Abigor would mind having a different crew member. Perhaps they can flip a coin on it.
Or perhaps you can imagine this portal is the sea, and you must stop any threats coming out of it, or else your spells won't be what's in the sling.
That was good. I like that.
You have a wonderful way with words, but it does not change the fact that there is not a snowflake's chance in a volcano that I'm going to be staying here, shacking up with devils.
How much do we pay Windowless?
Some amount.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Gold we have it on a document somewhere.
There's a document somewhere, but I don't have
What's
it.
like like just to throw out a number, like a gold piece? So like
20 gold, I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
30 gold a month.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna look at him and say, perhaps we give you 10 extra gold this month.
Great. Can I also get a letter that will be donated to my family so they can buy my coffin?
I'm happy to do that if you'd like.
I get an urn to hold my ashes in once I'm reduced to cinders.
Yes, that can be arranged.
Are you insisting that I have no chance? that I have no choice?
Yes.
Well,
So,
I have no chance. I believe I have quit. Good day.
I just want to say, you guys, your high charisma is
I don't have high charisma.
working so well. I know.
Excuse me. You quit.
Together.
You
Yes.
quit.
I have quit. Good
I
day.
can assure you that
He turns his back and goes to collect his effects.
I lay a hand on his shoulder. You do realize this is not the type of organization from which you quit.
and you also realize if you quit, the only place you get left is the Devil's Den.
Yes.
I
I am
don't
not Noxaqual, but I speak for him in this moment.
care. I'm not staying here.
Well, you are if you quit. We're not taking you on our ship. So think of it this way. Think of it this way, Windowless. You can stay on the Devil's Den with our protection, working with us, or we leave you here with no protection.
I'll swim to Tarot Town. I don't care. I'm done with this conversation. You're out of your mind. Noxaqual died. And you want me to go and shack up with these devils?
Yes. Not shack up with them. Stand with them for
You've taken one too many
extra
blows
pay.
to the head. Can't you connect two things together? This place is a graveyard. I'm not going to go to the graveyard now. I'm going to live my life and have many adventures on the sea, on whatever ship it might be. Good day to you, sirs.
I can certainly connect two things together.
No, I'm not listening.
Can I have? I'll have my undead servant sort of just like stand in front of him, stand in his way.
All right, the skeleton stands in the way of Windowless.
And I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna look at our crew, and like just look around and look at Card and say, "Do you really think you can take both Carderock, myself, and this?"
There are also a number of crew members on deck that are all watching this, and they have a very serious look in their eyes. Just they're watching you like a hawk.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Windowless, the captain is dead.
I don't have any intention to fight either of you. Like I said, I want to live, life, doing things that don't involve being a corpse. That sounds like a wonderful idea.
If you quit, we kill you.
Well, I wasn't going to say it that way, but yes. Yes, you live life here for about a week for extra pay, or you do exactly the being a corpse thing you aim to avoid.
And think of it this way. You see this corpse, how it's living dead? I will turn you into that.
Yes, I'll do that to you, too.
We are your leaders now, and you will listen to us.
What makes a run for it?
Well, my skeleton's there. He's going to try and stop him.
All right. Why don't I see? I might have a stat block for him.
Carderock, are you also trying to stop him, or?
Yes. I'm going to do it a slightly different way, though.
I just love how you're losing control of the situation. Your instinct is, let's double down. You die.
Yeah, this is not going to end well for you guys. This will not end well.
Well, I think either way, it's going to show that we're still in control, because it's like if
no, it's not.
Hang on, Arlen. At the very least, you can provide some undead to watch the portal.
Exactly.
There. You guys also forgetting about the one creature that could stand watch no matter what. That's on board the boat.
The zombie?
That's
Not that he's going to do much except bard magic or whatever. I don't know.
Well, anyway, I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on him.
I'm just going to have my skeleton.
First, we'll roll for initiative so we can see what order everyone goes in.
That's horrible for me.
How's a 19 do?
I got a 6 for mine, and then my skeleton gets a 6. Oops. I guess I reroll for each of us. I actually beat my skeleton.
Okay. He has a 10. So it's going to go Carderock, Arlen, Windowless. Is that right?
And then skeleton, yeah.
And then skeleton. All right. So you're on deck. There's a bunch of crew all watching this. Kobe and Stumpy Give and a bunch of others. And you're on the upper deck. You're in this big cavern. And then the ship is there anchored in the water. And you're all pretty close to each other. I don't know, probably within I guess Carderock and the skeleton are probably adjacent, and then Arlen's just like 10 feet away from him or something.
Mhm.
All right, Carderock, you act first. It looked like he was going to make a break for it or a run for it or something like that.
Oh, Windless. Don't let the gangplank hit you on the way out. And he's going to cast Hideous Laughter.
Hideous laughter? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a wisdom saving throw?
So the falling into fit of laughter is no save. The wisdom save is to avoid falling prone and becoming incapacitated and unable to stand.
Oh, he's got an 8 wisdom save.
Oh, I think that fails.
He falls on the ground in a riot of laughter and is just like rolling about and cackling like a madman.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah, I think it's Arlen.
One moment.
Arlen, what are you going to do?
I need to read a spell real fast. Sorry. Oh, where's that spell? I believe I can do this while he's incapacitated without him. It's the magic sphere, the Otiluke's resilient sphere. So is he still considered an unwilling even though he's incapacitated? So it's a dex saving throw if it's an unwilling creature.
Yes. Yeah, he'd be unwilling. All right.
Okay.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that because that's really the best thing I can do at this moment without just straight up killing him right now.
Okay. So I'll roll that, and then I'm actually not 100% familiar with this spell. On a dexterity saving throw, he has an 11.
I believe that fails. Let me check my save.
Yes.
Yeah, that fails. That 100% fails.
Sphere of force encloses the creature.
Yep. And he shouldn't be able to get out, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The sphere is weightless, just large enough to enclose the creature or object inside. An enclosed creature can use his action to push against the sphere's walls and thus roll the spear up to half the creature's speed. And otherwise, it's just like this impervious globe.
I basically put him in a
Yeah,
prison.
nothing can come in or out of it.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that.
Inside of your globe of force, rolling around in a riot of laughter. Does he make a saving throw again at the end of his turn?
Ooh, that's a good question. Sphere.
Not for the sphere, but for the hideous laughter.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
He comes up with a 17.
I think that is the DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Skeleton.
My skeleton is basically just going to hold this sphere so he can't move around with it.
All right. Carderock.
Arlen, is this strictly necessary?
Well, we didn't want him to get away, right? I believe he can still hear. Can he still hear us? That's a good question. Actually, I think he could still hear us, right?
Okay.
So it says nothing, not physical objects, energy, or other spell effects. I've been using a lot of weird spells. I'm so sorry, Esper.
No, actually, that weird spells are great.
I think he could still hear us, but I'm not sure because, like, it says nothing, but then it clarifies what it means by nothing. But I don't. It depends on how you want to roll.
So
it.
I guess sound will still travel through.
Okay, I'm gonna just like speak to him and say,
Air can still travel through it. He can still breathe. So I guess sound can too.
I'm gonna say,
Like, what have you done? Oh, I wish I never would have signed on with this dreadful ship.
Windowless, you are not in a position to make any sort of what's the word?
Apparently not. Apparently I'm your slave. Please load me into an obelisk and just fire me at some.
No. Listen here. My associate may have talked a little much about this, but you are a valued member of this crew. We do not mean to let you go. We do not mean to maltreat you. We chose you for this task because we thought you uniquely qualified. We thought you were the most capable one of us, among us, to perform this task. And if you do not think you are up to it, then I guess you are not up to it. But That is
Then
a mighty disappointment. We thought you were Wendellus,
And why aren't you doing it?
Spirit of Swords. Well, I have more important business to attend to.
I have more important business to do as well.
Windowless,
Such as?
Listen, Windowless, listen.
That is my own prerogative. I have no captain. He's gone.
Listen, Windowless.
Over the lion kind of like holds up his hand. Hey, I am acting captain now, so I don't want to hear any of that lip. Though, Arlen and Card, is this all necessary?
I do not believe it is. No, I just don't understand why he's taking this tack. We chose him for a very important role. He wishes to not fulfill it.
We've even offered him a pay raise.
Well, it is devils, but then again, Windless, you signed on with the Storm's Eye. What did you think this was? A pleasure cruise?
Yes, we're not some 3-hour tour.
I will since this
Apparently not. Apparently, my options are be a watchhound at a devil's lair or die.
I'm going to, at this point, since things have calmed down, I'm going to relinquish the Oteluke's Resilience Sphere before it goes away by itself. So I'm going to make it go away myself. I'm going to say, Windowless, there's a reason why I put you in that sphere and didn't kill you outright. We do value you. We want you to do this one thing for us. We have offered you a pay raise. We will return for you. And no harm will come to you.
Make a charisma check of some sort, whatever it is that you're doing.
Card, help me with this.
Nope.
It's just
If it's a persuasion, or it seems more like persuasion than
it's not intimidation.
Yeah, you made him laugh and you trapped him in a sphere. So, but you also did say he would die.
Yeah.
So you tell me what is Arlen's?
I think here he is trying to persuade. He's not trying to intimidate here. So either way, it's still just as bad for me. But we'll give it a go. Who got inspiration?
I did. Why?
That's a 2.
He needs it.
That's a 2.
Now,
Well, maybe it would have been better if you just would have roasted me to death with one of your fire spells instead of torturing and toying with me like a mouse in a ball of yarn.
I'm going to
And
look to Card for help with this situation.
and yet he didn't, because I would not have let him. You see, what he says is true. You are a valued member of this crew, and you were chosen not arbitrarily. You were not chosen because we thought, oh, let's throw him away. He's going to die from those devils. No. We chose you because you're a capable and qualified member of our crew who would have done the job and done it successfully.
As Card says that,
If you wish to leave, that is on you.
Asgard says that.
I'm beside myself and aghast, frankly terrified, and I had no idea I would ever be forced into serving devils.
You're not serving devils, you're serving us.
But you're leaving.
Look, we will return.
For a time, yes.
I'm going to pull out. I'm gonna like go into my bag of holding. I'm gonna pull out, because I offered 10 gold pieces. I'm gonna pull out 20, and I'm going to say, Windowless, I'm willing to even offer you 10 more gold pieces than I already did. We value you as a member of this crew, and if you stick with us, there are riches to be had. We ask you this one thing.
Apparently, I have no choice in the matter, so I am yours to command, Lord. I am your vessel.
Look at that, Carderock. You are Lord now. I'm going to give him the 20 gold pieces. Like, not Card, Windowless. I'm going to give him the 20 gold pieces. I'm going to say, the devils won't harm you. And if they do, they'll have to answer to us.
Well, please inscribe that on my gravestone.
I'll buy you a drink when we're all talking about that.
Go get my wineskin. I think I'll be needing it.
I don't want to let him out of my sight because I'm worried that he's going to run away again.
Hopkins, go get his stuff. Bring it up here.
Thank you, Kobe.
I'll go pick it up.
His personal effects are fetched. Are you sending anyone else along Windlet?
We're sending him two other random crew, right?
Okay, so you send them to hearty sea dogs when they got like their short swords or cutlasses or something.
Do we have an extra? I know that Nox and Kobe had a sending stone. Do we have an extra one? I'm not sure. Like I'm asking on the ship. Like I don't personally have any. I was just wondering if there was an extra one on the ship.
Unfortunately, the sending stone that Kobe has, the other stone is on Nox's body.
Okay. Here's something that I'll do. As we get Windless and the two other crew onto the Devil's Den and everything, if possible, I would like to talk to Abigor and ask him for 2 sending stones so that we can communicate with Windless.
Let's see. Did you give sending stones to Abigor?
No, I'm not saying get. I'm just asking Abigor a favor, essentially. Like, could you allow this so that we can communicate with Windless?
I think I missed part of something there.
I'm just straight up asking Abigor if he has sending stones.
Okay, you're asking Abigor if he has sending stones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Natural 1. Well, I've wanted these objects for some time. It would be most helpful. I don't currently possess them.
It's understandable. Very well. And I'm going to look over to Windless, and as I'm walking out, I'm going to whisper in his ear and say, Windless, these devils will do you no harm, but if you do try and run away, I can't promise no harm will come to you. Just do what you're told, and things will be fine. We'll return, I'm sure, within a few weeks, or a week, however long we determined that we'd be back.
It should be at most a week, really.
Yeah, at most a week.
He doesn't really say anything. He just gives you this sarcastic nod of his head.
Yep. I'm gonna walk out back to the ship.
One of the crewmen is already drinking the wine off of Abigor's table.
Hey, good luck. This ain't so bad.
All right. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna continue walking out.
All right. And the party now is going where?
Yeah, so I think we should probably just skip ahead to
The temple, right?
Going to Ambrosia Temple, and I don't know if anything meaningful will happen on the way, but yeah, that's just our next order of business.
All right, so let's take a look at that. You have left the Devil's Den by ship, I take it, sailing out. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were sailing down the Sedge River. You passed by Shinshiv, little halfling river fishing village, Taro Town, a larger halfling town, which is still recovering from some great unrest. You then connect with the Elder River, and then flow down the Rosbus, and the ship then gets anchored at Strang's Keep, which is a guard's fort, a soldier's fortress there. Kind of the keep on the borderlands, if you want to think of it that way, between the civilized lands of the south and the wilds and ruins of the north. And
wait, that has a mega dungeon beneath it?
Come again?
So it has a mega dungeon beneath it?
No mega dungeon beneath it, though surely there must be some series of caves nearby. And you go by foot. You pass by the rock spire. Brecca the Rock is there, the half-orc monk guardian of the rock spire. It would be cool to roleplay her, but I think for sake of time, let's just keep moving along.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, but she checks in with you, you check in with her, you kind of update each other. She seems to think that things have been fairly quiet here on Merkel Jaw. So you walk through the canyons and ravines until you get into the kind of more arid badlands that is this little spit of land. And you travel for a couple of days in total.
Oh, am I for hello? Oh, I think you froze for a sec there, Esper.
Yeah.
Oh, am I frozen?
No,
Not
you're good.
anymore.
You're good, yeah.
Okay.
You said we traveled for a couple days.
Yeah, you travel for a couple days. I got a scale here real quick. Yeah. So just doing a quick 3 days total to get the Ambrosia Temple. Along the way, there is a very minor encounter of sorts, but I don't think it actually needs to come to combat because, let's see, we have probably Arlen, Carderock, and like maybe Dignahar, the crossbowman. Do you take anyone else with you? Kobe?
But we took a ship. Oh, you mean like when we're traveling on the ground?
We'll take Kobe if he wants to come, with this place holding some special significance for him, of course.
I actually disagree. I think Kobe should stick with the ship for now.
Dignahar will go with you because he's got some decent shooting capabilities in case you need a little backup. Kobe will stay with the ship.
We'll ask if Kobe wants anything from the temple, I guess.
Well, I don't really know what to ask for. Holy water, maybe. Or maybe that'd be bad. It might just boil away when we bring it onto the ship.
We'll bring you something back.
Bring me a nice rock.
We'll get him a nice rock.
A lot of beautiful rocks.
All right, I'll nod and say, we'll get you a nice rock, Kobe.
We bring him back a girlfriend, Brecca.
All right.
But I'll tell you the thing that you see, but I don't think we actually need to play it out as a combat encounter.
We're getting to you, Drake.
You see a manticore circling overhead, hunting. Yeah, hunting, and it sees Carderock and heads back completely the other direction.
Oh, I really hope
once.
I really hope that actually was the manticore. That's great.
And then, after the total of 3 days travel, you make it to the Ambrosia Temple.
Awesome.
It's actually a slowly growing settlement here that has a number of dwarves that it's Kivish's fledgling clan that he has founded. But you specifically go past all the construction sites and go right to the Ambrosia Temple itself. You take the steps up onto the massive temple platform, pass by the pillars, and enter inside of the actual shrine hall itself. Within, there are a couple priests and acolytes and a few other people in prayer. The god himself is present here. Morpheus the Dreamer, seated atop a great throne, literally a statue, a petrified, tall giant of a man with elegant grace to his physique and his characteristics, and tear stains that have formed from his eyes along his stony visage. And not far away from this is the great pool of healing, whose waters are known to have miraculous curative properties. And the air is pungent with the smell of beeswax candles and temple incense, pungent and spicy. And there's embers glowing in a brazier, and overall a sense of great immenseness and profundity here in the presence of an actual god.
Arlen will look at Carderock as we walk in and everything. He'll say, Carderock. Although, or let me think. Hold on. He'll say, Carderock, I personally do not agree with what we're about to do. I do not think that it is wise to rely on the gods and their power to get what we want. But I know that this is something that you personally wish to do yourself. I will offer no assistance if that's all right. You're muted if you're talking. Oh, he said he had to be right back. Oh, okay, we'll wait. Yeah, he said he had to be right back. right when I got into
nitrogen.
Yeah.
All right, so
We can say that's not important if you want to continue, just so that we can get to Drake.
you were
Well, we kind of need Carderock because he's holding the bag of holding that's holding.
Oh, that's
Drake.
true. That's true.
you're speaking with Carderock and you're saying your piece.
Yeah, I'm basically just saying like I don't like working with gods, basically. But like I'm not gonna like stop anything. I'm not gonna like actively prevent anything.
Mhm.
Just basically saying like I don't like what we're doing, but this is something that you want to do, and it's your own prerogative, you know.
So why don't we just do that here in 1 second? And you're greeted by Cairo Horton, who is the head priest of the Ambrosia Temple. He's actually served here for a long time. He was actually here when the temple got sacked by House Eck, and he and some of his acolytes actually intentionally went into Morpheus's dream realm. I don't know if this was exactly specified, but the very first time the Stormbringers came here, they found all the acolytes, all the priests, unconscious,
Right.
like sleeping at the foot of the throne.
Well, there
And
wasn't
also like a thug from House Eck was
Okay.
unconscious too.
All right. Well, Carderock, since you're here now, when we got into the temple and everything, there we saw the presence of the god. I think you were there for that. Arlen spoke to you and said, although I don't approve of working with the gods for my own personal reasons, I know this is something that you want to do for Drake. I won't get in the way of you.
That is very good of you. After unfortunate business convincing Wendless to stay behind and your, which I accept some responsibility for, and your tendencies to joke, and they better damn well have been jokes about turning Drake into in the past. It is good of you that you would do this. I'm sure there is someone you can find to talk to here. There are a lot of interesting people hiding within these walls.
Yes, I've come to think of you as a friend, Carderock. I know that we don't always see eye to eye. We probably have many different beliefs in this world, but we've worked together for a while now, and we are the only survivors of the Stormbringers.
Quite. Well,
yep.
As a matter of fact, no, we are not. Why don't you go around and see if you can find a dwarf here and come back in a matter of hours once you've talked to him.
Arlen will,
and that's
Arlen,
just high.
Yeah, Arlen will walk off and just sort of explore the temple a bit if he happens to come across Trivish. He does. But yeah, he'll just walk around the temple a bit, and I'll let Carderock and Drake do their thing here.
So again, Cairo Horton, the head priest of the temple.
Cairo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Older gentleman, bearded, hair pulled back, long robe. He comes and greets you. Carderock Harkness. It is good to see a familiar face.
Yes, it is. And as it is for you. These are not as pleasant times as when we were last here.
Oh.
Well,
there is a grim air about you.
Yes, and you see that I came in here only with one. Only one other?
The one who keeps to himself.
Yes. He's all right once you get to know him.
Well,
but also
let him know that he is welcome to find rest and seek peace and healing at this place.
I come with no others, for we have sadly lost a few of our number.
My heart weeps at these words. Captain Noxaqual and the remade Drake fell.
Yes.
By the very gift of Morpheus himself.
Well, it is about that I've come here. I'm assuming there's nothing you can do for Noxaqual. If there is, well, wouldn't that be a right kick to have him reanimated by a god? But Drake is my concern today. He, well, after Lycar went wherever it is he is, was something of my closest friend here. Really anywhere. And I should very much like to see him back. Which is why I have brought, well, I'm not going to open it here in front of just everybody. It's not particularly pretty. To see if there is something that you can do. You speak for a god, after all.
This is a place of miracles, of wondrous healing, and I have seen things that has stolen the very breath from my mouth. And Drake himself is favored by Morpheus. We can pray, and we will pray, and we shall give our most sincerest vouching on his behalf. Beseech the Lord of the Dream World.
Well, prayer is one thing,
have you brought any manner of sacrifice? Sanctified incense, diamond gemstones.
So actually, I do have some. Where is it? Okay. Well, nothing of that exceptionally expensive sort, but I do have this. And he holds up a bag of 10 silver coins. These were from Drake, given to me as a result of a little wager we had a while ago.
Adam, Drake does have a few holy objects on him in the
He
inventory. He's got a dwarven holy symbol, couple. He's got teachings of Dionysus, some incense, and a magical item that's a symbol of Illis the Lantern. So those could help.
Well, I don't know how many of those. Oh, those were in the bag of holding.
Yes.
Oh, so they were all recovered. Oh,
Yeah, you have like basically have everything that Drake has. Or had.
Huh. Well, yes. Well, in addition to these coins that were significant to him, I also have these, and he pulls out the two holy symbols. And it's funny you mention incense because there you go. And the holy symbols and the incense, he could kind of like a thing or another thing. And
okay, sure. So an acolyte comes out, and he's bearing an actual nice stoneware platter, and receives these offerings. And Cairo says, "These are good. Might I be able to ask of you a greater donation to the temple, and I will draw upon our own stocks."
Pearl necklace.
Yes, I will retrieve from the reliquaries some of our finest sanctified incense.
all right. Well, that pearl necklace will get added then to the pile.
Just a pile of like all of Drake's belongings.
Well, it's like
The only other object I would say would be his ring of illusion, a ring of disguise, because he did technically take that from the temple that he was at when he left. So that might hold some help to it as well.
You want to add that ring in? Maybe a letting go of the past?
Yeah, we'll throw that one in as well.
And it's a minor
Right.
item, so maybe they could get some I don't know, benefit from that, or
I think
maybe trade it to like a passing merchant, and okay.
Well, the symbol of Illis is also a magical item because it had those light spells on it. So
very nice.
Right.
Okay, so you've made a pretty nice offering here, and they wait till the afternoon prayers have finished up, and so they get a space where they actually don't have any any other rite taking place, so they can focus just on this. Other people do come and watch, and actually something of a crowd gathers around and sort of waits, waiting in the wings, holding back and watching from a bit of a distance. And Cairo Horton is performing a holy rite, and he offers many prayers up to Morpheus the Dreamer, and they give offerings of this, heavenly scented, fine quality, sanctified incense that has a great actual value to it in terms of rarity and all that went into its production. And it's been blessed by prayer, and it's a very significant offering that's made here. And Carderock, you're participating in this rite. Arlen did not want to participate in it. Dignahar is with you as well. And Kivish,
What about Drake's apprentice from the boat? Wouldn't he also be there?
Yeah, also him.
I forgot about the apprentice.
I'm looking for the name, but I don't remember.
It's I've got it on a document. I've got so many.
By the way, I should clarify, like, outside of character, like, I would like to help, but like Arlen really doesn't like dealing with the gods.
Like, yeah. No, that's fine. I think roleplay Arlen to character.
Yeah.
Yorn is the one who Drake was training and working with him. So Yorn is there. Dignahar is there because Dignahar has something of a connection with Kivish, and he, traveled with Drake for, many months now, maybe even into the years, or at least
we should have picked up Robin. He could have come to help.
So there's this great rite, and the remains of Drake are, put onto like this a litter of some sort, like a carrying, not necessarily a casket, but sort of a
stretcher.
Yeah, a carrying board, and the remains are placed into the pool of healing, and the gods are besought to bring Drake back, bring his soul back, and to restore him bodily and spiritually. And the statue of Morpheus weeps at the passage of the tragedy of Drake's passing, and his tears flow into the pool of healing water. And rising up as though mist from the water is an image of a towering, bearded warrior god.
Well, Morpheus, you've summoned me here, and I suppose it is these few who are pleading at my doorstep. What is it that you want from me, mortals?
Well, take a wild guess. As you know,
Drake looks awful. Barely recognize him, and he's in Morpheus's pool.
And yet you still can recognize him. He's just that.
The newest addition to the elite exalted warriors of my great hall, and you want him back.
Yes, we believe he has joined your company too early. He is still a part of ours, you see.
Oh?
Well, he's a Stormbringer.
And now he is bringing storms upon my mountain against our foes.
Well, there are foes here. There are those who, I'm not entirely certain, but initially opposed the gods, if I am correct. And they still remain to be vanquished.
Such as?
Nobody's going to shoot me with an arrow if I say this name, right? Pox Mata, the Mer Queen, Queen of Lichdom, responsible for the mists.
And Drake is going to be serving in a fight against her.
Quite. He's a Stormbringer.
Why do I get the feeling that this title Stormbringer is a very vague and flexible thing?
Well, this has applied to a few over the years, but perhaps none more so than Drake.
Yes. Well, Drake certainly did his fair share of storming, and look where it got him. Is the same thing just going to happen to him again?
Well, if it does, you have my word that I shall join you as well.
Oh. Is that your word, Sir Knight?
It is.
Do you swear it by your sword?
I do. Not before my time, mind you, but should Drake fall, then I shall join him in your hall when I shall as well.
Let me hear your oath. Swear it true and swear it proper, Sir Knight.
Now, don't be alarmed. Yes, I'm about to draw my sword in here, but it's for a reason. I'm talking to a god, all right? And he draws it and holds it out. By my sword, whose name is Joy, I swear unto you, Dionysus, the Fury, friend of Morpheus the Dreamer, and Ilus the Lantern, and Sortiza the Weaver, that should Drake be allowed to return to us, and merely fall again in the fight against Poxmata, that not only shall he join you, not only shall I ensure his safe passage back to your halls, that I shall join you there as well, to fight in your company forevermore.
I am pleased by your oath, Knight. I will speak with Drake and see what he has to say about this. And if he is willing, I will give him this 1 second chance.
Drake's just like, nah, I'm good.
I'm half tempted to say that, but Drake would definitely want to come back to help, especially after hearing what Carderock offered.
So listen well. Drake is wiser than he lets on. You would do well to listen to him once in a while. You have done well. Fight the good fight, Carderock and company. There are more storms to be brought, I see.
That there are.
Oh, he lets a big battle cry, and there's like an explosion of thunder, and like water splashes up and splatters back down into the pool. Drake, you are amongst exalted warriors within the hall of Dionysus the Fury, preparing yourself to take great battle. You've been having this ongoing fight against demonic forces, and you've been putting some whooping on them.
I imagine him leading literally the charge every time.
Yeah, something of a vanguard. When there's the booming steps of your Lord of Battle behind you, Drakeville, hearken.
What of him, my God?
Your allies are pleading and beseeching at the Ambrosia Temple. They have brought your remains to the Pool of Healing. Morpheus the Dreamer has wept at your tragic passing. And they say that they need you still as an ally in the world. Would you go? Would you join them?
If you will be letting me go, I would gladly aid them once more in their battles.
Carderock has sworn an oath that should you and he fall together in battle, that you will both continue to serve as exalted warriors in my company in the afterlife.
Drake's definitely going to be a little taken back by the oath, but like in an honorable way. If he has sworn you that oath, he will honor it. I know as of them, of the Stormbringers that I travel with, Carderock is definitely the most honorable of them.
Aye. I know when a man's lying to me, and I see truth in his eye. All right. This is your one chance, Drake. It is not in the way of things for souls to bounce back and forth between the living and the dead. That is the purview of liches, which we are not.
Agreed.
Okay. Then it is settled. Fight well. And I told him to listen to you from time to time. Don't be afraid to step up and lead when the time comes.
I shall, and thank you for this.
All right.
Gift.
Now try not to get yourself killed doing something stupid again.
Well, I did take on that golem and became its greatest threat that it had to signal me out. So I'll try not doing that again.
I do not begrudge you relishing in the thrill of battle. The fury runs in your veins as well. Does me well. But cunning. You are a wise and cunning one. Use that cunning. A big portal opens up, and it's like you're looking down over your own grisly remains floating in water.
Oh man!
You can smell incense. This amazing angelic incense wafting up through the plains, and then Dionysus just shoves you. Go on.
I would think as soon as he feels the hands, Drake's is actually not going to let him shove him. He's going to shadow step down through the portal.
That's what I said about using your cunning. All right. There is a tremendous flinging sensation as your spirit is vaulted between planes of existence, and there is an immense glow, a flash that runs through the water. It bubbles up, it steams, and when the effect settles down, Drake is remade whole, unscarred, intact with his strength, and you gasp. You gasp a great breath of life. You feel the presence of Morpheus. You feel his hand. He's there with you as well. And there's this sensation, like, imagine when your arm has fallen asleep, like the worst time ever that your arm fell asleep. Imagine that's got your entire body just cracking pins and needles. And so for a few moments, Drake is probably just like in the water. It's really an ordeal. But you're alive again.
He is going to stand up, probably look down at himself, and turn to Carderock and go, Carderock, you perhaps wouldn't have a cloak that I could borrow.
Yeah, you're probably nude, right?
I figured the clothing didn't get repaired, so it's just kind of starting to fall off of his body.
Well, and he's gonna motion.
That's the least of your concerns here. And Cairo Horton puts a cloak.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a temple. They've got robes. It's been a while then, hasn't it?
That it has, and I am thankful for what you've done to give me this second chance.
Truthfully, I did not know it was possible.
Neither did I, but I believe your oath and everyone's prayers here were able to sway Dionysus to letting me have this chance.
Well, good. Better not squander it now that I'm tied to it.
I will not, because both of us are tied to it.
Indeed.
If Arlen, I don't know where Arlen would be if he would have seen this. Like,
He's lurking in the back.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, if he did see this happen, like, he'd probably like go like to the bottom of the stairs or something, and like look up and say, "Welcome back, Drake."
Thank you. And Drake still doesn't completely trust Arlen, so he's like not sure.
Yeah. I mean, Arlen is definitely like, he's not mad that you're back. I mean, you're an ally, you know. Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like Drake still doesn't trust Arlen because of that hand. That hand is like the one thing that he does not trust about. It's like, and they've only been known him for Drake's only known Arlen for a short time, so he's like needs to give him time.
So my question is, who's paying who on that bet?
Ooh, that is correct.
Oh wait, yeah. What was the bet? The bet was like a card said, "Don't like, I'll give you this if you live," and he technically lived, right?
I thought he bet that he would die.
No, you bet that Drake would live.
He
bet you won't die. I don't remember the exact word.
No. You better get out of there alive.
Drake would collect if he survived, so he bet.
I think
he bet he would die. Come here and prove me wrong and collect your winnings. Yeah.
Yeah. So who wins?
You gotta pay up, card.
Oh
yeah. Drake's gonna hear that.
That's one of the first things
Didn't we have a bet? Drake's gonna hold the coins and it's like, and then give half of them back because I still technically did die.
Yes. Yes.
Though I do have a question, Carderock.
Oh?
Did any of my stuff make it back?
Most of it.
Well, I can tell my clothing did not.
Unfortunately. Yeah, this is... Hopefully it's not too sticky.
He's gonna get the bag of holding. I take it.
Yeah.
He's gonna...
I had to sacrifice some things in order to help bring you back, and, well, I've become slightly accustomed to this cloak you once wore.
He's gonna see the cloak of this Weissman. I take it.
But everything else should be in there.
Yeah, we don't want to get you like the cloak.
Drake's gonna look at the cloak and look straight at Carver. You've earned it. I will get myself another one.
In my defense, you were dead.
Don't worry.
Carderock, do you relinquish all of his personal effects?
I mean, aside from the cloak, yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's his stuff.
Drake?
So Drake's gonna put on the bracer and the ring.
Carderock's fondness for your cloak?
Well, Drake's gonna give it to him because he did give an oath to bring him back. So,
wow, amazing gift.
Yes.
Well, he did bring you back to life. I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah.
Amazing gift.
Oh, I need to remove that from my inventory.
Oh, this just reminds me of something I forgot. Sherlax needed to collect Balsam Cray's trident.
Oh. Okay, well, that
We'll say
can
that
be retconned as having occurred. Yeah.
Oh, darn it!
So
I was hoping we could keep it.
Drake, you've got your life back in terms of still living in the material plane, and you have all of your effects, sans the cloak, which you have graciously given to Carderock, and thanks. You are full of all kinds of sensations. It's really intense, but also you feel just out of sorts and like uncoordinated and all like half numb and tingly. So you currently have a -4 penalty on your attacks, on your saving throws, on your ability checks, kind of like all your major D20 stuff that you roll.
Yeah, I figure I'd have some sort of disadvantage for just coming back.
Every time you complete a long rest, it's going to get a little better. So it'll go to -3, then -2, then -1, and then
Now, I do have a question because technically I did gain a level from that encounter. Do I need to take a long rest?
Yeah,
or did that death count for it?
You have been remade at Drake level 12.
Well, from my character sheet, I was already at level 12.
Okay, are you level 13 now?
Yeah.
Woo! Okay. So tell us what is now within your grasp?
Drake is going to take another level of Cleric, bring him up to 4th level Cleric, giving him access. Hold on, I got to double check. I'm not sure if he gets 3rd level. Got to double check.
Ability score or a feat?
I got to double check on what I want, but I'm leaning more towards a feat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he gains one more spell slot for one more cantrip and one more 1st and 2nd level spell slot, and then I'm going to figure out what feat I want to take. I don't know exactly what.
Well, there's a lot of really good options.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas?
I'm thinking of the alert or awareness feat, just so literally he can't be snuck up on. You can't ambush Drake anymore.
I think you should take the lucky feat because you were very lucky to be brought back to life.
That I'm also thinking, but it's literally, I'm leaning a lot towards that awareness because it would really build into how he's taking these experiences and no longer going to be ambushed by stuff.
Oh yeah. Take whatever works.
Yeah, I got to figure it out, so I will let you know, Esper, as soon as I can. I figured it out.
If we have a chance here, for a little bit of RP, I don't know if you had anything here in particular, Esper.
Well, there is one thing. There's another thing I didn't want to forget. Since we're talking about what's going on within Drake, there is this. It's even a sound. I think you can hear it in your mind. This kind of like war drum persisting from the Hall of Diagnosis, and the the voice and the presence of your lord is still with you. And he's like, I send you back to Lollygag. You need to bring some storms, and you know that your main motivation right now is the Broken Bell Temple.
Yeah.
On reclaiming that because it was sacked or taken or something by enemies of the gods.
So Drake's going to turn to Carderock and Arlen. Though there is one thing that Dionysus has commanded me to do. The Broken Bell Temple. We need to either clear it or reclaim it. And I don't think it can wait.
Well, sounds like I know where we're going. Although, I do believe we must pick up some crewmen from Devil's Den.
Yes, I think that comes first. We did tell Windless that we'd be back for him. I think that it's good that we keep our word.
We should not leave anyone with them, if we can.
Drake, I am curious. As far as I'm aware, you had some dealings with Captain Noxaqual. That's why you followed him. That's why you were with us. Are you still an ally?
I will aid you. My oath to him is no longer. Where is Noxaqual?
Arlen will look down at this point. Arlen definitely does regret that Noxaqual passed away. He'll say, the captain has died, unfortunately, soon after you perished as well.
Not to the golem, I hope.
Not to the golem. It was you who essentially saved us from that golem. But he did pass. He had a bit too much ambition for the boots that he was seeking out. But we still maintain the ships, and we have the crew at our hands. It's good to have you back.
I will aid the Stormbringers. Carderock has given an oath, and I will help him keep that oath. Or in a way that he does not need to cash it in too early.
I understand. I'm happy to assist in any way that I can as well, since I think that we are allies. We should help each other in our own ambitions.
Yes. As of now, I feel I need to recover, but I can do that on our route or under sail to the Broken Bell.
I agree, but let's first go to the Devil's Den.
And Arlen, let us not tarry there for but a moment.
I nod. Arlen doesn't want to stay at the Devil's Den either. He just wants to get our crew back and then head out.
Now that Drake has returned to us, now that we are set on a course which, to be perfectly honest, interests me more than the Masked One's shadow artifacts, we should not spend any more time with those devils than we have to.
I agree. I have no interest in the boots, at least not at the moment. I don't even think if I had interest, we would have the means to get them.
Okay, well, I'm down for this. If you all want, we can flow things along and get into the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
We have to go to the Devil's Den though first, right?
Let's get like a whole
We can kind of just cover the main pointers and then flow into getting to the temple.
That works. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so this will span a few days. It'll take you 3 days to get all the way back to Devil's Den. You walk back through Merkelon's Jaw to Strang's Keep, take the ship back northward along a couple river bends back to Devil's Den, and there. Nothing has come through the portal, but from time to time, people have reported hearing whispers in the darkness. Both crewmen have heard it within the cave, and the devils have heard it inside the tunnels and caves proper.
And Windless is still there? He didn't run?
Windless is still there, and he's not doing so well.
Oh.
He's coughing. And he seems kind of ill, and he seems just distressed. And he talks about he's been unable to sleep.
I'll go over to him and say, Windless, is everything all right?
feeling so well. This place, I can't sleep here. I have nothing but nightmares and I awaken in cold sweats.
I'm going to sort of pat him on the back and say, you've done well. We appreciate you coming here. I know that we had some disagreements of it, but we're back for you. As we said, you can come back to the ship.
And we are going far, far away from here.
Far away from here sounds good.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Be ye well. Cheer up. And he's gonna... Is this the type of thing that would be like a removed disease?
Okay, so lay on.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I do house rule it a little bit just to make like the harder, rarer disease things a little more difficult. As it turns out, this seems to be a more common kind of disease thing. So you actually make him feel you wipe away whatever illness is plaguing him.
All right, at the cost of 5 points from the lay on hands pool.
It must have been just the damp of the cave, and I think perhaps something that I ate off of Abigor's table didn't set well with me.
I keep telling him about mixing fish with fruit in such a manner and cooking the whole thing in such a heavy amount of butter. You should not trust that one.
Fish and
Everyone's culinary sensibilities are all wrong.
From his table.
As we walk out, I'm gonna say, Windowless, you did a good job, and like we said, we're here with you, and you are a valuable member of the crew. I hope that you'll stay with us. I will not force you to stay with us if you do not like.
We threaten you next time.
Yeah, I will say that, like,
Okay, if you want.
Yeah, we won't.
Gotcha.
It's like, but yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know what Card thinks of it, but I'll say, Windowless, you did a good job. If
News here, he does actually have now a higher place among the crew.
Yeah, like basically telling him like you did very well. You have a high place, and if you do want to leave, you're welcome to. We won't stop you, but if you stay, there's much reward.
Run, Windowless, run!
Let you know my final word on this matter some other day. My mind is not right at the moment, but I'm still alive, so there's that.
I'm gonna slip him 5 more gold pieces.
Thank you.
Now let's get out of here.
You sail out of the Cascades of Devil's Den. Again, along river bends, south you go, until you actually pass into more refined lands, and you start to see rolling plains and river villages, industrious folk, humans who have tilled these lands for many, many generations. And you pass by, even within range of some farm fields. And eventually you pass by glorious Sumner Field and under like one of its great bridges. And you can see like the walls and ramparts of the city and the castle and the spires beyond. An exemplar of civilization that still exists in Dreckengrim, despite all the harrows it's endured over the years. You flow eastward from Sumnerfield. You pass by Bliskmill, the small port town, and out into the coastal waters. And you round a couple of peninsula. You pass by some small islands. And, it's been, a good maybe 5 days of travel before you make it to a region called Gitsgrond. Now, before you all disembark in what is kind of a wasteland with arid and rocky and kind of, the twisted, hardened plant life that might just grow here in a nook and cranny. Before you disembark, you have any special preparations? Do you have any knowledge checks you roll? I suppose Drake has recovered from the resurrection by now.
Yeah, he would have.
Yep.
By this point.
Any last minute preparations, knowledge, lore, inquiries?
Probably just my normal stuff, like casting shield, having my skeleton ready,
Mage armor.
or yeah, mage armor. Sorry,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess if I know anything about this land, then I don't know if I need to roll for that or anything.
Go for it. Roll a. Well, you tell me what kind of knowledge check you're doing.
I'm thinking like history, like just like get the history of it.
Okay, go for it.
Esper, I will be taking the alert feat.
I got a 17.
17. Okay, so just some basic things. The original name of this location was actually the Temple of Bells. And supposedly it has this big bell tower. And for ages, the bells would ring and people could hear it for miles. And apparently Sortiza the Weaver dwelt here, if not permanently, at least part of the time. So this was an actual abode of hers, much like Omen Mox for Illis the Lantern and the Ambrosia Temple for Morpheus. The temple fell. Here is where we're going to kind of get hazy on what you might know because you just know some basics. The temple fell. There was battles against demonic forces. You suspect Orcus, as Orcus seemed to have plagued this land in the prior age, the age of conquest. And Sortiza died. You know that. You're not sure what happened to Orcus. I mean, you think you would have heard if Orcus would have won and persisted ravaging Drekengrim. So it seems also from the party's travels, it seemed like Orcus got defeated and areas that he was able to corrupt or his minions corrupted kind of got sealed away or driven back. So you're suspecting something like that happened here, mirroring a bit of what you've seen at Mirgraf Mine and Basilica Nicae and this other island that you did not step onto, but Noxqual had a bit of history with the prior first mate. What else can I tell you? It's known as a haunted wasteland, a demon-haunted wasteland. So it's a kind of a corrupted area.
All right, and what were we here for again for the Broken Temple? We're clearing it out or something else?
So Drake has been tasked to reclaim it, to slay or drive away the foes that took it, that ruined it, to hopefully restore a divine connection. Again, details are somewhat hazy, but the general idea is to make a reclamation of a holy site.
All right, Arlen will look at Drake and say, well, lead the way.
So do bards tell stories or sing songs of anything else of note in the region of Gitzrond?
Maybe so. Do you want to roll a knowledge check as well?
Sure. Would that be history or?
Okay, yeah, go for it.
The one that I actually have points in.
Nice.
18.
One more than me.
Oh, but going about it differently, though.
Yeah, of course, I know.
So, presumably getting different information.
Yeah, so you compare your bits of lore and rumors and knowledge that you've picked up. They largely mirror or are very similar to what Arlen knows. But there are two additional points that we'll say are just extra bardic lore that you've picked up. One would be that there was once an adventuring party that went to Broken Bell Temple. It got named Broken Bell after the sacking, by the way, when literally the bells were broken. There was an adventuring party that came here, seeking to do what adventuring parties do, trying to find relics and magic items and valuable lore of the past. And there was some guardian or some ordeal, some gateway. You've heard a couple conflicting stories, but there was something some kind of trial at the entrance, and the party members that tried to go through it were disintegrated. And so the ones that survived, they fled. And they also talked about how they came across some demons in these wastelands as well. Just roving packs of what you might consider lesser demons, but I mean, demons nonetheless, they're still dangerous, especially for not quite so veteran heroes like yourself.
Quick thing also, when we do get off of the ship, Arlen would have liked to bring Windowless with us as well if he was up for it.
Windowless is not so keen on this. He seems a bit traumatized.
Okay. Yeah, he won't.
Dignahar is up for it though. If you would have him.
Yeah, we'll bring. I'd bring Dignahar then. Yeah, I'm not going to force Windowless to come with us.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you thought this was over? No, you're coming with us again.
Yeah, Dignahar is of a mind. I would like to fight alongside the men who came back from the grave. It would be an honor, Drake.
Well,
It's an
you're in
honor to
luck.
have you alongside us as well. We could use your crossbow.
My eye is keen, and my crossbow quarrels are keener. The other little piece, the second piece, Carderock, is that supposedly there's some cave mouth that looks like a giant gaping skull south of Broken Bell Temple.
I didn't notice, Esper.
No, really.
All right. Sorry. I come from
Good, because out of character, you know we are going there, right?
Eventually, yeah, we're going there eventually.
We will be at some point.
It's almost like Esper predicted this.
All right, so I guess we're heading to the temple though for now.
If the dungeon
All
looks
right,
like a base, that's where you must place yourselves.
You weigh anchor, you take a rowboat to the shore. We've got Drake, Arlen, Carderock, and Dignahar.
And my skeleton.
And the skeleton as well. And the rest of the party is aboard the Storm's Eye. And you find yourself in an arid, rocky badland. It's to some degree similar to Merkelon's Jaw, but in other ways it's different. It doesn't have ridges, mountainy, rocky spires. It doesn't have canyons, but it is kind of an arid, gnarled ground. You also see twisted plants that just grow up sparsely here and there. Thorny, twisted, hard things that when you look at them, they almost look like they're twisted into shapes. I mean, they don't have like faces on them literally, but if you kind of glance at it, it almost like there's this gnarled demon thing just like snarling and lurking over there. There's these malformed, twisted plants. You're making your way towards the Broken Bell Temple, striding across this barren land. When you have passed over not really a ridge, but just kind of a hillock or a mound, there is a snarling sound, and you turn to see emerging from a den a pack of undead wolves. They look like actual, Badlands wolves, not hulking tundra gray wolves, but the kind of smaller deserty varieties. But they've got, dead skin, patches of fur fallen off, completely manged. Many of their eyes have been like pecked out by vultures. They're clearly undead. And they snarl and they growl threateningly.
See, look at me. I can do that too.
How many did you say there were again?
There are a total of 7 undead wolves. Like zombie wolves, basically.
Oh, hold on a second.
That's a lot.
Okay, Carderock, make an intimidation check.
All right. 14 on the die, so that makes it a total of a 25.
All right. You give them your what with and maybe add in a bit of bardic magic along with that, and they slink back, growling.
Nice work, Carderock.
Clearly,
Drake is going
are
to.
mightier than zombie wolves.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say Drake was going to cast Turn Undead.
Ah,
Yeah, well, Carderock did that with his growl.
You proceed onwards. The ground starts to have some hills and raises in elevation, you also pass by another unnerving sight. There is a natural pool, not large, but maybe 10, 12, 13, somewhere around there, irregular shaped pool of blood. Crimson red blood, and you can even smell it, that sickly iron smell. And there are these things, humanoid forms, 2 or 3 of them, kind of writhing around in the blood, and even one's face kind of breaks the surface slightly. And you see like vampiric fangs on it.
How many?
Well, Drake, quite a charming place we've come to.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. I actually am going to cast a spell here. Drake is going to cast Detect Evil and Good.
I think that there's evil.
Yeah, these are clearly undead. It's like it's spawning some kind of vampire spawn thing, or abyssal touched vampire spawn.
Okay.
And even with you using this spell, you can even just sense that this region you're in, this is very much corrupted by the abyss.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Well, if what we encounter so far is any hint, this will be quite a task for the Stormbringers to complete.
Dignahar's got his crossbow trained on the like forming, writhing vampire demons. We'll call it abyssal vampire spawns.
Arlen's definitely curious about it.
Word. I'll put this bolt right between the damn thing's fangs.
Actually, do you all think that we could take these 3 out? They'd be quite useful for me. Vampires are humanoids, right?
Undead.
Oh. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, could I raise like a vampire as like a zombie or a skeleton?
I don't think you could.
You want to give it a try?
Nah, I'm good. Let's not try right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can wade into the pool and put your hands on it.
I'm good.
Start working your magic.
I'm good.
Did Arlen actually ask about trying to take them though?
Well, it was for that reason, but
Okay.
yeah, no. If
Drake's gonna.
When you say
his
take
head.
them, you mean take them out, right?
yeah, but let's not worry about that right now. Perhaps we can continue on.
Let's leave them for now. The quicker we get to the temple, perhaps the quicker we can clean this area of whatever's corrupting it.
Very well. You leave the bloody canker and the forming spawns. The Broken Bell Temple looms in the distance, and you can see it atop a grand, large hill, and you can hear it. Its bells in the wind, but not the glorious clarion ring of the days of yore. No, this is a dissonant and fragmented, ominous sound. I can't even produce this effect. Imagine like that ocean harp instrument, Yeah, like that, but it like fragments and peels out. And there are steps winding up this mighty hillside, and you see there is the facade of the temple with the large pillars going up, and then beyond the pillars there is an entrance, and the entrance is we think of it as an arch-shaped corridor. So there actually there's an archway that forms the front, and one would pass through the archway into this entrance corridor. You walk, the wind blows this gritty bits and almost this bony powder onto you, as though some giant was pulverized, and the fragmented, ominous sounds of the cracked bells are all filling the air. And you approach, and the archway at the front is this stony thing. It's a magnificent structure. It's not in the state that Omenmox was in, where Omenmox was like half collapsed. This is mostly intact. There's obvious signs of wear, and it has not been tended to or repaired in some time. But it's not collapsed. maybe there's a bit there's you it seems more like an abandoned and disrepaired temple as opposed to an absolute crumbling ruin. And you can even see like the bell tower rising up at the top of the place. As you get close to this frontmost archway, you see at the pinnacle of the arch is a face, like the angelic, like face of an angel, some kind of angelic like face. Its features are not too detailed, and its eyes are, it's hard to get a read on the expression in its eyes. They could be peaceful. They could be like watching very intently and intensely. It could almost be a melancholy expression. It's that sort of vague, otherworldly expression on the face of the frontmost archway leading into the temple entrance corridor.
This is like an actual face, like not a statue.
It's a face set into like a relief at the pinnacle of the archway.
So this talk about a previous adventuring party that was disintegrated. In hearing that, did any of that seem to suggest a particular like method by which that happened?
So you didn't hear anything about particulars on methods, but there's also an inscription at the pinnacle near the face. And the inscription reads, "Only the noble-hearted shall pass and live."
Arlen can't pass.
I was about to say, this party just dropped down to 2.
Yeah, as I'm reading that, Arlen's just gonna look back at Card and Drake and say, "I doubt that I could go in. And I prefer not to be disintegrated."
I don't know if I've done things, very questionable things in my time.
Carderock, Drake.
I suppose it's you and I then.
It would be just us, I believe, Carderock, but before we go on, I would like to try to pray quickly to Diagnosis to make sure this is what he wants exactly.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps even try to... hold on, I was almost... There's a little bit more. Perhaps even see if he can contact the Weaver to make sure this is for us to get through, because that can be very vague at times on what is honorable or pure. So yeah, Drake is going to pray to Diagnosis, because this quest, while he understands the importance of it, he wants to make sure they're not walking into their death, because for whatever reason they might, because Drake's known he's done stuff in the past that people would call him unhonorable for. He's not sure about Carderock, or he's kind of got a good idea that Arlen's not, but he doesn't want
truly lawful good. But
yeah,
nobility Card is literally sort of that, and by legal definitions for the law of the land, and also has especially recently done some very selfless stuff. Drake
to be fair, Arlen's honorable. Like he doesn't lie. Like he goes.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing. It's very vague on what it's classified as honorable. So he wants to make sure he's not about to have everyone walk through an archway that's going to disintegrate all of them, because they weren't to the honorable of what they wanted, of what Sagona, the Reaver, wanted. So that's why he's wanting to make sure he's not about to send his part, lead them into their death, especially after just coming back to life.
Finally, I'm back.
Oh my gosh, that just reminded me of Robin Hood Men in Tights. Robin Hood's butler. I can see. I'm blind.
Or
does anyone read Celestial? By the way,
actually, yes.
Do you?
Yeah, I read Celestial.
So some of the
am I the only one that reads Celestial? Nice.
Yeah, it's on my list, but I'm currently rereading another series.
My other language is Draconic.
Okay. Some of the embellishments on this frontmost arch actually are celestial runes, and you can make it out then, since you read it, Arlen, and it says, The test of soul.
The test of soul.
The test of soul.
Well, it seems that this is a test of soul, and I don't know if my soul is perfect enough to go through, but Drake, the gods have shined on you apparently. Perhaps you should go in first.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'm checking my spells real quickly.
And don't worry, I shall follow very, very closely there behind.
Let me.
Yes, you should lead the way.
I will definitely be leading, but I would like to quickly pray to Dionysus to make sure I'm not leading everyone to their deaths.
Okay.
Of course.
What is your prayer?
He's going to pull out a little bit of incense as an offering, both to the Weaver and to Dionysus, because they're at her temple. But he's asking just to make for some sort of sign to make sure he's not leading them into his friends to their death, because he wants to make sure he's doing the right thing here.
Okay.
No response.
So you arrange maybe a small altar, stacking a couple stones together. You burn up some incense. Do you have an actual value amount on this incense, or is it just
it's about
more narrative flavor?
It's more narrative. Most of his good stuff was destroyed when he fell into the water when he first arrived.
Yeah.
So, and he hasn't really had a chance to get some good, actual, worthwhile incense. So this is just for.
All right. You say your prayer to Dionysus, to Morpheus, to Sortiza, to any of the gods who are willing to look upon you with favor and aid at this moment. Make a religion check using wisdom instead of intelligence.
Thank you. My intelligence is not very good. And that's still not a good one. That is only 9.
You say your prayer, and it is not so much communing with the gods as you might feel more reassured having done.
Okay.
You're going to have to trust in yourself at this step.
Good luck, Drake.
I will go first, and hopefully we'll see how this goes. And Drake's going to get up and walk through the archway.
You step through the archway. There's a slight glow over the eyes of the face. And nothing more.
Carderock, you want to give it a go?
Card follows.
Do you do anything before stepping through?
He's going to touch the holy symbol of Morpheus on the hilt of his sword and say, Morpheus, Sortiza, Dionysus, to whom I've sworn my oath, protect me from any harm that might befall me in here.
You say your words, spoken to the gods above. You step through. There is a glow in the eyes, slightly more intense than what they were for Drake. And there's just a little bolt that shoots out at you. It doesn't disintegrate you, just a little zap for maybe some not so nice moments that you involved yourself in. But indeed, at your heart, you are a noble and good person. So you get a little spank.
I suppose I deserve that, but Drake, when we fix this place, we're not installing that thing.
I agree.
You think I could
Drake's then going to get an idea. Arlen, I'm not sure if you will be able to, but I do have an idea. Do you have a spell that could give you sanctuary and you could act as our rear guard? Well, me and
I have Leomon's tiny hut.
That would be that would definitely protect you, and that would also perhaps block the path in to prevent any creatures that somehow are able to get past this archway into at us.
I'm happy to use my hut, but I doubt that any creatures that have ill intent towards us are going to be able to get through that.
I understand and I agree, but something about this place unsettles me, and I'd rather take extra precautions if we can.
I understand everything about this place unsettles me. That thing right there says disintegrate you to me.
Yes, and while we may not be friends, I'd rather not lose another ally.
I nod my head, and I'll stand outside with my skeleton and dig hard.
Got his crossbow up. I'm keeping the watch here in the rear. Go ahead. I'm fine here on this side.
Yeah,
Alright,
I will do my Leomon's tiny.
Yeah,
hut.
Drake. I'm not sure with Adam if Carderock would also, but Drake would be waiting until they've got the spell completely cast, so that way,
Yeah,
if something does happen, they can quickly move to help.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes with the ritual.
Well, yeah, it's a quick 10 minutes, but just to be on the safe side, because again, Golem showing up.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying like how long.
Where do you place the tiny hut?
I'll probably like just outside of the archway. Yeah.
Okay, so just like right before the getting up onto the temple actual area. Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Sure. That goes. Your arcane ritual goes goes off without a hitch.
Fantastic.
And so Carderock and Drake, what you're seeing is this corridor, an arched ceilinged corridor, and there are supporting archways on the inside as you walk in. Daylight's feeding in, so you can see pretty well. And there are some stylizations and embellishments on the archways. And you see about midway through, there's another like major archway that it's bigger, it's thicker, it juts out more. It has additional inscriptions on it. And then you can see there's a third and final one down at the end. And there's maybe a stone door or something stony on the other side of it. The second archway has like this pair of outstretched arms and hands.
All right, so I guess
The inscribed words read, "Only a champion of great power shall proceed."
Hey, Carderock.
Well, another test?
You once slayed a sphinx.
I slew a sphinx once.
Yes. These, I believe, are all going to be tests against and for us.
Do you not, well, not to brag, but believe this applies to both of us?
I believe every test is taken on individually in of sorts. We both have done great things and taken on mighty foes. How the gods judge it, I'm unsure, but I believe at this point we should continue forward until we come to a test that we know for certain we would fail.
Agreed. Do you wish to proceed first, or shall I?
I will go first if that is fine, as I have brought us here, and again, I do not want your oath to need to be taken so soon.
Well, don't fail. Damn it.
Drake's going to pull out the bag of coins. Are we betting again?
Oh, I do believe we are.
Very well, then. And Drake will pass through the next arch.
As you approach it and you start to pass underneath it, something appears in front of you. There is a swirl of some effect, a misty swirl, and conjuring before you is a creature, a large creature with a demonic visage, a woman's face. She has 6 arms, each bearing a scimitar, and a long serpentine body. This appears before you. What do you do?
Have fun, Drake.
What time of day is it?
Afternoon.
Okay, so he can't shadow step behind it to get a strike. Drake is going to face it and not back down. We'll continue advancing at a ready in a somewhat ready stance to fight back if need be.
Okay, so it's already pretty close to you, and so you just close the gap of, say, a few feet or so.
Yeah.
And let's say you had to like spend actions and stuff. What would you call that?
He would probably wouldn't take the dodge. He would go on the attack, try to strike at it, and if he can get a hit, do a stunning blow.
Okay, are you striking it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. Give it a roll.
Oh, that is actually not bad at roll there. That would be 22.
22 is a hit.
All right, so would also be spending the key point to make it a stunning strike.
Okay.
1 second. And then damage. Which would be 8 points of damage. And Drake wouldn't back down. He would keep going on trying to defeat this creature.
So you can spend 1 point and attempt a stunning strike, or you can spend 2 points to use the gift from Morpheus, right?
Yeah, actually, I'll do the 2 points.
Yep. So with 2, you'll deal an additional D8 psychic, and if it fails its save, it's unconscious instead of stunned.
Okay, so that's an extra point of damage. And what is... Hold on. Do I still have... There it is. Needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
22.
Yeah, that's going to pass.
The demonic foe hisses at you.
Weakling, that is not enough. I will slice you to pieces.
Drake is going to use his...
Do you have additional attacks?
Yeah, Drake has got several attacks.
Okay.
So, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get open here. Yeah, so he's got unarmored strike, so he's able to do actually 2 or 3. That's 18 to hit.
Hit.
All right. Trying to think. Yeah, we'll spend another 2 key points.
All right.
Okay, so that's 7 plus 5. So that's 12 points of damage.
Okay. And on a save, 22 again.
Yeah. Drake's going to look at it. I will keep fighting until I fall, if I must. I will not back down against you. And then, let me double check, because I think I can spend a key point or another key point to do Fury of Blows.
Yeah, you can either, as a bonus action, make 1 unarmed strike, or you can spend a key point, bonus action, and 2 unarmed strikes for Flurry of Blows.
Yeah, let's spend a key point to get 2 more.
Okay.
Because I have an idea of how this test works, and we're going to and I'm going to roll both of those attacks now.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so one is 21, and the other is going to be 14.
The 21 hits, the
14 misses.
He blocks.
All right, and I'm not going to spend any more key, so this is just going to be a regular unarmed strike. And that's only for 6 points of damage.
6. Okay.
And that would be pretty much all that Drake could do at this point.
Cow! Weakling!
And she retaliates with 6 scimitar attacks.
Does Carderock see this, by the way?
Yeah,
Just like out of curiosity.
Wondering that.
Okay, to hit. 12, 13, 14. I don't think those hit.
Nope.
24.
That hits.
22.
Miss.
And then the next one's higher. 28.
Yeah, so 2 of them hit.
2 have struck.
What's your AC now, Drake?
It's 23.
Oh, wow.
Still,
Still really
because the
high.
bracer in the ring. Might get another bracer, just so I can up it one more.
1 damage total.
Okay, that's fine.
something that is noteworthy. You have been struck by swords before. You don't believe that dealt slashing damage there. That dealt force damage.
Okay, hold on. So that was 21 points, you said?
21 points of force damage. It reminds you of the spiritual weapon. You've maybe used it yourself, or at least know of it. The Cleric spell.
Yeah.
Also-
Feeling this, Drake is going to look closely at the creature.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you are a guardian of this place. I've come under orders of my god, Dionysus, to help purify this temple, reclaim it for the Weaver once more.
I am here to slay all who are unworthy.
Well then, I guess this means I will have to keep fighting you until I prove my worth. And
What is oh, go ahead.
which point, I gotta double check, make sure I have that spell. Do I have it?
By the way, Esper, I don't think you guys did. Can
Yeah,
Carderock see this?
yeah.
Yep. Yes, he does.
He does. Oh, okay. Is he able to act?
You tell me. What do you want to do?
I mean, when he sees this,
You're not like, you're not paralyzed or anything. You're there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna want to help Drake and rush in there.
Okay.
You there,
Yeah, go for it. I mean, Drake's acted and the creature's acted. So what is Drake? What is?
fell demon? That man is my only friend, and if you're going to attack him, you're going to die for it. And he's gonna run in and do a blade flourish at it.
Words are easy. Show me your might.
You'll eat those words as you'll eat this steel. All right. Okay, so this is going to be a blade flourish. So that means Bardic Inspiration die gets added to it.
Here's the real question, Esper. Can Arlen see this?
Yeah, I imagine so. It's down this corridor.
Oh wait, really? I could actually see it?
I mean, you see the back of Drake and the back of Carderock, and then this creature's kind of looming beyond them. Yeah, I would imagine.
There's just one problem, Drake or Arlen. You're inside of the
Yeah,
Leon's
exactly.
Yeah, you can't cast spells. To it.
All right, so the attack is not natural, but it is a 20 to try and hit.
Yes, that is sufficient.
Okay, and he is absolutely going to. He thinks it's a. Does he think it's a demon? Do I get a religion check?
It certainly looks like a demon.
Okay, then, and it looks like a powerful demon that I might even have heard songs about before, right?
Yes.
Then yeah, he'll burn a 5th level spell to smite it as hard as he can possibly smite it.
All right.
And however, do I not get the extra dice for it being not actually a demon?
Go ahead, add it in.
Okay. Just roll this big ass nasty pile of dice. First the d10s. Okay. Then the d8s.
Sounds like a lot of dice.
Yeah.
It's 57.
Joy flashes with a radiant celestial blaze, and you strike the demonic foe before you, and a gash just like tears through it, and it dissipates.
In the name of Morpheus, Dionysus, and Sortisa, be ye no more, and unhand my friend. We aim to enter this temple, and that's what we shall do. Where were they, damn it?
You all have passed the second test. Do you continue?
Yeah, Drake will continue forward. And the 21 hit points should be easily cured. And is not super worried about it. Actually, I think I do have something. He's going to cast Twilight Sanctuary, which gives a temporary 1d8 hit points. I know it's not a lot, but
Well, it's like a first level feature, right?
it's a second level feature.
Second level feature, yeah.
And that's just one extra hit point. It's not much, as I said, but it's something. So I guess they will head up to the third archway.
Okay. Drake, you're going in the lead?
Yeah, Drake will continue going up in the lead.
Okay. You pass by, again, a few of the lesser supports. Each one has some different stylizations and iconography upon it. And you come to the last of the primary supports. This one has a symbol at its pinnacle that appears as two keys facing each other, and in each of the key heads there is a keyhole, and the keys are simultaneously inserted into one another and are sort of unlocking each other at the same time. Just on the other side of the archway is a stone seal, a standing vertical slab. Upon the seal is the image of Sortiza the Weaver in relief. A wise woman, stylized, of course, strands of hair reaching out, a long robe that almost has wave-like patternings to it. And she's inlaid, this image of her is inlaid with runic gemstones. Inscribed words within this final arch read, "Only the wisest may withstand this ordeal."
Man, Arlen would have failed like every single one of these tests.
Out of character, wisdom is obviously more your specialty than cards.
Yeah.
Charisma caster.
Yeah, this is definitely Drake's thing. So he
Well,
will.
What do you make of this, Drake?
I believe we need to. It's a puzzle, like him guessing here, but I believe it is a puzzle that we must solve to unlock the temple. And I believe something within this motif is the keys, and we must press them both at the same time or move them to unlock them at the same time. It will require both of us to figure out.
The interlocking stuff, and then a relief of Sortiza the Weaver doing what exactly?
This is the final of the larger primary archways, and
Right.
it has just etched or engraved in relief upon it this interesting symbol of two keys simultaneously locking each other. It's very stylized. They don't really look like super realistic keys.
I see.
And the inscription says, "Only the wisest may withstand this ordeal." And after you pass by this archway, then you come to the seal, and that has this image of Sortiza on it.
I see.
But it does look like someone, again, steps forward, passing through or under the archway to engage with it.
Well, you are the one who was sent here
And I shall
first.
go first. And Drake will step through the archway.
Okay. The voice of the goddess resounds from the seal. "This is a broken place. Why have you come here?"
I have been sent by my god Dionysus to reclaim this temple, to purify it, to liberate it, to do what I must to return it to you.
That is quite idealistic of you. But this is an ordeal, terrible and uncertain. Do you truly wish to proceed?
I do not believe I can turn back at this point. I believe I need to, and I have come with a friend to aid me in doing this.
Do you seek true wisdom?
Wisdom should always be sought after.
Then you shall know, and I shall guide you. Your eyes can be deceived. You do not need them anymore, Drake. Drake, you go blind. In Carderock, you see his eyes just like turn this like white cataract thing. And you're plunged into blind darkness, Drake.
Okay.
Do you wish to continue?
Even if I'm blind and cannot fight to my max, I must continue.
Why? It will only get worse from here.
Because wisdom does not always need to be seen. It must be experienced and learned. While you have great wisdom and I have much to learn from you, the only way to do that is to free your temple from whatever is corrupting it.
Again, you are an idealist. We shall see how true your ideals truly are, and you will experience much. Existence is defined by pain and suffering. A terrible divine wrath fills you and racks your body. You suffer 70 points of damage, Drake.
Ooh, wow.
Did you say 70?
70.
I am down to...
Does he have 10 hit points from Nox?
I have 15 hit points.
You have 15 hit. Okay, so you're still standing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably like double over. I don't know how you want to role play.
Drake is, yeah, he will curl up a bit, but he's going to bite down on his teeth and force himself to stand up. Life
is pain.
Life is not only pain. Life has greatness. Things that can happen to it. I've met one of my greatest friends who is with me currently now, Carderock. And he has not brought me pain. He has brought me great happiness. Traveling with him has been a good thing. He has also done many great things to help me, as if returning me back from the dead to life. Beseeching Dionysus and giving an oath to him so I could come back. So I understand pain and death quite well on a very first-name basis.
Then does that mean you wish to go on?
Yes, I wish to continue.
Be very careful in making these decisions, Drake. Verily I say unto you, this ordeal shall only worsen.
We gain much from pain. We learn the most from it. Our failures are the greatest of our teachers. I ran from where I came from because those teachings had failed me. I'm now here to spread the correct teachings that should have been taught there, where I should have stayed, fought back. I'm here to begin fixing my mistakes. And one of them shall be here.
truly a noble aim. And I think that you truly have the potential in you to do good, to bring about these works. But you are limited, and no matter what precautions you take, your health shall eventually fail. The beauty and vibrance of youth fades under the wasting grasp of time. And Drake is afflicted by a terrible divine disease, and boils cover your entire body, and your hair like wilts out of your head.
Time will take us all. What we do with it is what matters the most. If I were to sit back and do nothing, everything I have learned would be gone to dust. If I at least try, perhaps I can get through one person, who can then pass on what I've taught him to another, and maybe he'll get through two or only one. But as long as that line continues, what I have done will not for nothing.
Is it your wish to continue then?
It
I tell
is.
you, the worst is yet to come.
I shall keep continuing.
And on you will go, and you will inch each day one step closer towards the grave. And the closer you go, the weaker you will become, and eventually your strength will fail you in the end. You are struck as though a blow of a massive, forceful hurricane gale, and it just blasts the strength right out of your body, and your strength score is reduced to 1.
Okay, that's fine. I don't really use strength, but
Well, you do,
yeah.
to a degree, in that you must be able to support your body, and you can't anymore, and you fall under your own weight of your own, however much you weigh, and you just kind of collapse into a pile on the ground, barely able to. Maybe you could just like pull yourself along weakly.
So, Card can see this, right?
You are seeing and hearing everything.
All right, he's gonna go in there and physically pick Drake up and hold him in a standing position.
Do not interfere! A great force as though a hand grips you. Make a strength saving throw.
Okay. All right. Oh boy. Good thing my strength is good. This is going to be it's not natural, but it's a 20.
All right. There is a great grip upon you, but you are forcing your way. It's trying to like expel you out of this entrance corridor, but you're fighting it off. What do you do?
Drake spoke true, but he is not alone in this. I shall leave him to converse with you, whoever you are talking to him. I shall merely hold him here so that he can stand under his own weight.
Why do you bother? Why do the two of you bother with this? Why have you come to this forlorn place? You could have remained in town, in your beds, in your taverns, with comforts and delights and distractions.
Because even if we remain and do nothing, as I said before, we cannot change this world. A simple act of doing one good deed cannot be done by remaining in town, in our beds, in our comforts, with distractions. We must go out. We must experience. By coming here, and do good, we can return your temple to its glory. We can at least attempt to purify the land. Even if we fail, perhaps those who come next can do it. Yes, we might not be able to do it by ourselves, but even if we do fail, at least we can say we died trying. For those who do not try have failed completely.
Well spoken. Does Carderock add anything to that?
Dying alone in a bed. Truly the best way to go. But it does not restore to this land what it has lost. What Drake says is true, every word of it. This is our quest. We are not to be deterred from it.
Well, whether you take up these quests that you feel so emboldened by, or remain happily in bed warm and comfortable. In the end, death will come to you as it comes to all. I will show you. And your visions go black, and you don't know if you're unconscious, awake, alive, dead. You feel as if you're leaving your body. And
Well, wouldn't Drake know because he did technically die?
it really does remind you of dying. It really does.
Okay.
You don't know if you've actually just left your body, if you've died, but you do feel like you've spiritually left. And you see at this great loom a grandmotherly woman with impossibly long strands of hair is weaving at the loom and spinning strands of fate that blow along the winds of time. And she looks at you, aware of your presence, and she sheds a tear. And there is a glimmer in the tear, and you see your soul is able to fly into the tear of the goddess as though it's an ocean unto itself, and it reflects as though an image upon water. And you see all about you the Temple of Bells as it was in its day proper, and a massive clash. And Sortiza herself is there, along with her acolytes and a guardian as well, a guardian figure, an angelic statuesque person. And she battles against Orcus, this horrific demon lord, skull-headed, wielding this mace of undeath, with hordes around him. And the goddess fights against them. She is able to slay Orcus with her whip of waves, but she herself has been terribly wounded by him. And she gets overwhelmed by demons, including 3 of the one you just saw. 6 scimitar, snake-bodied Meriliths are among these numbers, and they slash her down. And her own priests fight against them. And then the image shifts, and you see the torments of hell. You see souls in hell, in torment amongst fire and torture racks, and there's much wailing. But the voice of the goddess, her presence is there with you. Your wrongdoings and your failings not only bring you closer to these fires, but you drag all those around you along with. Should I cast you into hell for your misdeeds against the children of the Weaver upon Dusk Isle? Should you be damned for your actions?
Drake's gonna look to Carderock. If I'm going to hell, I would like to be by your side, if you don't mind.
Having been there before, there's nobody else I'd rather go again with.
Yeah, then Drake's gonna speak up. If you are to cast us there, then cast us. We are sorry for the crimes that we did commit against you. Can we repay them? Perhaps in time. How, I do not know. Perhaps you could tell us how we could repay those crimes.
I am no goddess consumed by shadow, nor am I blinded by light. We are given the right hand and the left. There is justice, and those get what is owed to them. We pay our debts, and what we deserve, we receive. But there is also mercy. There is consideration. There is a chance to turn a new page. And she then gives you a glimpse of a heavenly afterlife. Celestial palisades, exalted warriors, a place of beauty and enlightenment. Your right actions and wise decisions lift you towards the divine. And likewise, you uplift all those around you. Should you reach the celestial afterlife for your righteous actions? Should you be shown mercy in the favor of the gods?
Each person is judged individually for what we've done in life. How should I be judged? I do not know. When I had died last, I was sent to battle alongside my god Dionysus. Will I return to him again? I do not know. I wish to. And I can only hope that my actions will let me be among his followers still.
And you, knight, you pledge the same? Is this your path?
I very explicitly pledged the same, to the point where I'm going where he's going.
Then you are bound together. In the strands of your own fate, I weave, and I see it so. Know the price of existence is suffering and death. And it is our highest hope that your noble aims here and your great achievements will be worth this terrible price that we all pay. And with that, you were sent back into your bodies, having spiritually traveled, as it were. And the archway gleams. And Drake, you are fully restored.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Full health too? Just
the effects of the heal spell, the greater restoration spell, these are all imbued into you, and you are restored, completely restored. And the archways of the temple collapse upon one another. And as they do so, bits get left behind: the face, the arms, the hands, the stylizations, and they compact and form. What do they see, Warsor?
Oh.
oh.
Nice.
He has arrived!
I am the gatekeeper. And I think we should...
Did you guys not hear me?
It was a little
No,
low.
we
It
heard
was a
you.
little low. We heard
It again?
I am the gatekeeper, and I think we should, and that was all I could hear.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Basically, he said, I am the gatekeeper. And you see a almost what looks like a statue of a man. It is... How to even... Can I just show a picture, maybe?
Yep,
Because that
I
might be
can
better.
screen share the
Esper,
photo.
can you share the photo?
Uh-huh. Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I will pull it up. Okay. I don't know why I had to re-download it, but I have re-downloaded it, and now I will share it.
By the power of the internet? Oh, that's...
not that.
What terror have you wrought? What food of a dark god have you wished upon us?
Fool.
So, do we all now start DMing for ourselves?
That was just like perfect timing.
yeah, that was. Oh my gosh.
Yay for
Out of
multitasking.
curiosity, Warsor, how are you doing on time? Because it is.
I have to go. I was going to actually suggest we cliffhanger it as soon as this
This is a
happens.
good place for it, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so I'll just show the image then.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is. You made a Warforged monk. oh, dude,
I like
this is
it.
awesome.
I like it. That's pretty good.
Sure.
Whatever it is, that is
I will
awesome.
leave it saying,
I'm the gatekeeper.
Oh man.
Very nice. Okay, so if you guys want to cliffhanger it there, we can. There's still like a bit that Sortiza says to you, and you'll probably talk to him as well.
I'd say it's good to cliffhanger.
Yeah,
I
what's
have a
cliffhanger
feeling-
here? There's
Okay. You have a feeling that conversation might be kind of a longer one, and I
Yeah.
want to give it its due.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have met the gatekeeper, and that's going to be an interesting thing.
Oh,
Drake
yes.
and Carderock, you each have received a milestone.
Yay! Thank you.
Woo! All right. That was an awesome session. Thank you so much.
Oh
guys.
man, that was a fun one.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun. That was great.
All right. Well, I will turn off the stream so that way we can get on to doing stuff we got to do. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for playing. And really am excited for the next episode.
Same here.
Thank you guys.
Have
All
a good
right.
night, everyone.
Have a good evening.